indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you everyone for being here tonight. All right, we're gonna start off with the oath of office. Chelsea, you wanna just go over that a little bit?
Yep, so Charla and Brandon both have their oath of office. They will both read it. That is their sworn in, and they are now, will become official, commission members so that they can go along and vote as we go through the meeting. So Charla, if you want to read yours first.
Okay. I, Charlotte E. Kozlowski of Washburn, North Dakota, do solemnly swear or affirm I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of North Dakota, and that I faithfully discharge the duties of the office of City Commissioner according to the best of my ability, so help me God, under pains and penalty of perjury. I do.
Did you sign it?
I did, yeah. Got it notarized.
You can read yours, yep.
I, Brandon Lazier of Washburn, North Dakota, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of North Dakota, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of City Commissioner according to my best of my ability, so help me God, under pains and penalties of perjury.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, I'll file it.
All right. All right, we are here tonight to do the city's work and also the people's work. So, somebody like to make a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Any other discussion? If not, Brandon?
Yes.
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 And yes.
For tonight, just with those two being new, do you want to put them last voting? Just until they can get through and go through the motions of things, just in case there's something. Start with maybe Keith and Jamie and have those two go last.
Yeah, can we?
Just for tonight.
Sure, and then, so, when we get into voting and stuff, so, the principle of it is, we have a discussion, somebody will make a motion, somebody will second that motion, we will go into discussion, and then after discussion is completed, we will do a roll call vote, just so you're familiar with that, but, yeah, we can do that.
And not necessarily do you always have to second a motion. If you
Right.
don't agree with it, it can die for the lack of a second as well. So don't feel that you have to always second it. Sometimes it helps to get discussion rolling, but that is always an option too, so.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Does it die like after a certain amount of time?
Yeah, Mark will usually call like once or twice for a second, and then if there's nobody that goes, then it'll die for the lack of a second, so.
Doesn't happen often, but it does happen. All right, public comment. Is there anybody?
I just wanna thank those two for being on the commission. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I second that.
All right, okay, consent agenda items. Should we explain this a little bit to the new commissioners, Chelsea?
Yeah, we certainly can.
Okay, I'll let you do that, please.
Okay, so consent agenda items are typically routine agenda items that we see every month. Typically will always be our prior commission meeting minutes. If there is a correction that you do notice on them though, please tell me, because I do make mistakes on them every once in a while. The prior month financials, which is your cash report that's in there, as well as then the bills that have been passed around that you've looked at that will be paid tomorrow. We put in there the local event permits as well, as long as you look over those, don't see anything with those, as they are standard procedure, allowing people their gaming or raffle permit that they're doing. And then, Keith, was there anything else that falls underneath there that we don't have on this agenda tonight?
Not really, and I guess just one more note would be that don't feel as if you have to approve everything. If there was an issue that you noticed, just say, I'd like to remove this from the consent agenda, and then that can be removed from there. So just keep that in mind, that
And then
It's on there, it's
discussion.
not like a package deal.
Right.
It is
Like
until it's
one of
not.
the
Yes.
event permits?
Yeah, if there's something like that, like, hey, actually on this one, it was kind of a mess up or whatever.
I have a
So-
question,
So we could,
to
yeah,
where it could be discussed.
good example, then we should,
Yeah.
if you wanna remove it and then we can.
Okay.
Any questions, I guess, it's mainly just so we don't sit here awkwardly for like 10 different items of yes, yes, second.
It speeds
yes,
up the
yes,
process.
so.
That's good. That's what I've watched.
Okay, sure. All right, somebody wanna make a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Was there one thing you wanted to discuss though? To rem-
Nope.
I thought you said there was one on that. Okay.
No, just in case if there was.
Okay, yep, motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? If not, Jamie?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Brandon?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're gonna go into portfolio assignments. I have a question for Chelsea. Normally in the past, whenever there's an election, don't the commissioners that have their portfolio assignments stay there and then just the open portfolio?
Not necessarily.
No.
They can be completely reversed around depending on who comes in, knowledge, expertise. Just reassigning to get people involved with different things. I think we had a complete shakeup this whole last time on 24 of moving everybody around.
Mhm.
So, no, they do not have to stay the same. Now keep in mind, we will be redoing this
Sure,
in June as well, or July, I guess, at our first
July.
meeting, depending on if and who runs for our 2 open positions that we will have. But with 2 new incoming in, we do at least need to go through them and assign whether
Okay.
people are staying or moving and get that all figured out.
sure, I'm fine with that. All right, street commissioner,
If I may, just real quick,
sure.
should vice president be on there too, or is that not as big of a deal? Cause I'm fine being it still, but if anyone else really, really wants it, I just wanna open it up to others, I guess.
Actually,
Yeah, it's not as big of a deal, but I guess if you do want to, just because we will be revisiting this back in June,
Mhm,
but we need to at least get those missing assignments assigned.
mhm.
So whatever you guys want to do.
I just figured I'd bring it up, whatever you guys think, I'm fine keeping it, if not, we can change that to add to the list, but.
I have no preference.
Makes it easier.
All right, going back to street commissioner. I would like to make a motion to appoint Jamie Weber to the street commissioner portfolio.
Second.
All right. Is there any discussion?
Is that obviously where, is that where he was at before too?
Correct,
Yes.
good question. Jamie?
Yes.
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 All right. Okay. Water and sewer commissioner.
What does that one all entail specifically?
It covers everything like
Like the
water,
treatment plant?
sewage.
Sewage.
I believe it involves some of the drainage also around Washburn.
And
Because
water
if
lines.
it leads into our septic system or drain, ponds and stuff like that, so.
And so you work with like Adam on that, or is he involved in that a lot too?
Yeah.
Yes.
There might be meetings involved during the day because we're looking at a drain issue up on that heritage area.
Mhm.
So there might be some involvement. I took over the water and sewer portfolio here a few months ago. And then I kept buildings and grounds because Mr. Habit asked me to take both, but
Okay.
I'm very interested in the water and sewer
Yeah, I just,
commissioner
out of
position.
looking at all of them.
No, that's fine,
That's just, I don't know, something that interested me myself as well.
sure,
Only because of the fact that I deal with a lot of the water pumps out the power plant and whatnot. And I'm sure there's a lot of them in the water treatment building and.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously, I don't know how it goes, how you figure out how to do it or whatever, you guys obviously used to point them or whatever, but.
Well, that's where, you and I both worked at the power
Mhm.
plant. I was familiar with water treatment, been out there for 36 years. You're on the maintenance end.
Right.
So,
I mean, that's just something I thought that I'd fit at, but I mean,
Right.
obviously.
Maybe just some examples of stuff I can remember, like when there was an issue with the septic, like meeting with the guy that was gonna dredge it up and all that. And then like when we were doing the Garrison diversion, lots of meeting with like Tim Mahoney and calling and trying to figure out that whole process, just to give you an idea of what the scope or whatever was for recent projects, plus what he mentioned.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Should we maybe just talk about all of them and then
Yeah.
like
Sure.
then we can kind of so that then people don't just like fall awkwardly into like not strengths or whatever. So maybe we could talk about them first, if that's okay, Mark, and then after we talk about them, then we'll go through.
can I indulge you to go through the list?
Sure, why not? Okay.
Thank you.
So buildings and ground commissioner, basically what that is what it states, what it says on the tin, buildings and grounds. So like, let's say there's a memorial hall issue with you lift up the basketball hoop and then, oh no, the invoice and all this other sort of stuff, like dealing with contractors with that, or do stuff with the basement, the Legion's, lots of interaction with them. They do lots of great work over there. They were for a while. Then some other, there's a lot of crossover too in all these. So like with streets, it might move into grounds if there's like a section that we own or mow or whatever it may be. It's irrelevant now, but in the past, like if you were to figure out mowing with the park board, for example, that might be a thing where you go with Adam and try and figure that out with them. Or that police and fire, basically, just meeting with the sheriff or with Clayton. Hey, we got this project coming up, or hey, we've had some complaints lately about this, that sort of thing. Or even when I had that, I kind of did some ordinance stuff too, like rereading kind of our dog ordinance, because there was an issue with trying to enforce it. It just was written wrong, so then trying to figure out how to make that better. So talking to Cody or other officers, say, okay, well then will this work? And just kind of going in between there. And then fire is just, Clayton's really good to work with,
Mhm.
so.
He's my neighbor.
Financial, that's fun. I don't know, I had that one too, where it's kind of just, you gotta go through all the numbers, figure out what's going on in the city. It took me a minute, but like getting up to speed, and I put working with her on the budget a little bit, and also did like a health report for the city. So I just kind of found like numbers of like, what would the average debt to person be, and that sort of thing, just to see how we are, just to kind of get a good look at it, or even just kind of know the accounts, kind of like a treasurer and a normal board or something like that. So that way if a project comes up, it's like, well, let's do it on this account, and well, probably not, because we have this and we got this coming up. So just kind of knowing about that sort of thing. Airport authority, Jamie, I guess, what have you done in airport authority?
Yeah, I'd say that's, working with a lot of federal rules and regulations out there. Lyle and Bob are very knowledgeable about what's going on out there, so that's pretty good that way, and the other two guys are pretty good out there too. It's an active board. I mean, basically they do a good job saving money out there, meaning that there's a lot of hands-on activity like mowing, snow removal. General maintenance is usually done by the board, so it's a little bit more in hands-on involved, I guess, as well. So that's what's going on out there. So,
And forestry, I'm kind of familiar from what Tim would talk about, but I know like hiring a contractor, this tree is having issues or whatever, or a resident has a tree that might fall on his house, like we had that a few months ago or whatever. And so just dealing with that kind of stuff. And then planting as well. So they do lots of planting. I think there's a tree giveaway too. At some
Yes.
point during the
Yep,
year.
usually in May.
Yep.
That they head up.
And then library, I've been on library, that's a really good one. Candy does a great job, she's got very organized over there, so it's basically, usually you don't get put on the financials, that'll be someone besides the commissioner, but just going to see how they're growing, and there's kind of a different world at the library, like different metrics of how they measure growth and sustainability and that sort of stuff, but very interesting to see, so. Planning and zoning, if you like words, you know what I mean? There's lots that goes into that. It's the 117, I believe, is the ordinance.
117
And-
A-2, yep.
Right, and then basically just learning about that, and you kind of just deal with when people need variances or possible changes, or there's issues, or I'm not saying this is a thing, Facebook, but like chickens or something like that might be a planning and zoning thing of like, okay, well, let's go see what's this. Yeah, and human resources, I like that one. We usually have 2 on for that one. That is primarily policy development for the employees, like raises. We do monthly HR meetings where we kind of like, how's everyone doing? And then that sort of thing. And what else have we done, Chelsea? Pretty much just policy evaluation.
Just usually a monthly check-in to address if there's anything going on, so we're not waiting so far into the year if there are issues that we need to discuss.
And hiring, I guess. And it's been kind of a weird bucket where it's like, hey, we have this legal thing to do. So it's like, okay, sure, HR.
Yes.
I guess gets thrown.
Anything
that
else gets
project,
thrown into
so-
HR.
Yeah, so it's kind of a catch-all, which is nice that we've had 2 people for that in the past at least. But hopefully those were not too mumbly and good explanations of those. But that's what I got.
I got a couple things to add, if you don't mind. So on human resources, Brandon would be a conflict of interest, wouldn't he, being a brother to the city auditor?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and
That's perfect.
preferably, or I mean, really, Buddy and Mark should not either be on it, as there is family down the line in both of them. So it would either leave Jamie or Charlotte probably for HR if we wanted to put 2 of them on there. But yes, Buddy is an absolute no.
Okay.
That makes sense.
And then, just so everyone's aware, Keith was on financial. Jamie was on airport. And then, Tim was on forestry, I believe.
Yes.
And then, who had taken, oh, and then, Miranda had picked up library. So she's gone.
Right. I had it for the last month though, and I
Right.
prefer not to have that because my wife was on there too.
Right.
So it'd be better
There's
just to have
A
someone
little bit
else,
of conflict.
Okay.
Yep. So if someone else wants the library, I prefer that.
Yes.
At least.
And then Miranda was on, police and fire. So. Okay, so we can get things moving along. I would be interested in the water and sewer commission. If somebody would wanna,
I'll make a motion for Mark to be the water and sewer commissioner.
Second.
any more discussion? Jamie?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Brandon?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, buildings and grounds. I would like to make a motion to appoint Brandon, buildings and grounds.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? If not, Jamie?
Yes.
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 Thank you. All right, police and fire.
So if I may just interject, so these last two would usually be like the primary ones, and some people would have a secondary one, which would be the following:
Sure.
forestry, library, planning, commercial. So basically, between you and me, do you want financial or police? Okay. Perfect. Yeah, the financial takes a little bit to learn, and if you want it, maybe
You're better at that. I
well
think.
in July,
Yeah.
if you really want to, I'd go
Okay,
for it then.
we could stop that.
Yeah.
Would that be would that be kind of a secondary one, wouldn't it? Or, 'cause
It hasn't been historically at least, because there's like the 5 primaries, and then the other ones were kind of like add-ons.
yeah, I think about,
Yeah,
Financial
street,
being-
water, buildings, financial, and human resources should be the main 5.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So,
Oh, yep, okay.
yeah.
So which ones? Sorry,
That makes
say it
sense.
again?
Human resources.
Streets, water and sewer, building, financial, and human, I think would be the 2 big
Okay.
ones.
Yes.
Okay, so these are secondaries. Okay, gotcha.
Gotcha. Yeah, I got confused because we always have 2 people on that, so
That's
Yeah.
fine.
that's what I think of it as a primary.
Do we want to go through and do financial and human and then circle back, or do?
And then come back to this?
Sure, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
let's go to financial.
I'll continue to do it if you guys want.
Make a motion that Keith does financial.
I'll second that. Any other discussion? Not Jamie?
Yes.
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 All right.
And then
And then human resource?
that should be 2 right away, shouldn't it?
Hmm.
Keith, would you mind doing it again?
I don't mind, and it'd probably be better having someone that's been doing it for a little while to kind of get the other person up
And
to
then-
speed.
This would be good onboarding, so like maybe Charlotte,
I can do that, yeah.
Okay.
I'm open to that.
make a motion for Charlotte and Keith to do human resources.
I'll second that. Any other discussion? None? Gina?
Yes.
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 All right. So we gonna go back up to police or,
Yeah, that might be best, just top town.
Yeah. I suppose. Buddy, do you like
Do that.
police and fire?
Yeah, I do.
yeah,
I make a motion for Buddy to do police and fire.
I'll second that motion. Any other discussion? If not, Jamie?
Yes.
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 All right. Okay, airport. I've been sitting in, kind of watching, Jamie this last year or so, and just trying to learn that area, cause I've never been a part of it, so I want to take an interest and see what he does and stuff. And I know with his busy schedule, especially in the summer when there's the most activities out there, I've expressed interest in that.
I would
area,
agree,
so.
cause you know, like I say, that's a hands-on board in the
Yeah.
summertime, so that's, yeah, I make a motion that Mark takes on the airport authority.
Okay.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Jamie?
Yes.
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 All right, thank you. All right, we're down to forestry and library. I do have one other, Chelsea, I talked to Don Simon. He goes to the county commission meetings.
Yeah.
And he said he would be interested in staying there.
We still have somebody from the commission on planning and zoning. Who's on planning and zoning right now?
I am.
Yeah, you are.
Yep.
Okay,
So,
but I knew Don liked it.
Yeah.
Not my, I guess, choice to say if you want to keep him on there, but that is by all means.
well, if we want to make a change, we can make it at a later time. But
Yeah.
for right now, he asked if he could stay on it.
Okay.
So I just wanted to cover that tonight.
Yep.
For discussion, so,
And that is for the county planning and zoning.
right,
We always have a city one on there as well, so we do have a city planning and zoning, we have a county planning and zoning. That was Don's portfolio when he was a commissioner, he liked it, he wanted to stay on it, so we have appointed him to stay on as a county commissioner. He just sends me meeting minutes every month and I forward them off, so, we'll just keep him on there.
if that's okay by the commission. Should we vote on that? Just to clarify or not? I will make a motion to leave Don Simon on the county commission, planning and zoning.
Second.
Okay. Any other discussion? Jamie?
Yes.
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 Sure.
Oh, yes, sorry.
That's okay. Happens to the best of us. All right, moving down, we're at, forestry. Does anybody have a preference?
Are you interested in forestry or planning and zoning, Jamie?
I'll probably, forestry's pretty close to streets, right? I mean, that's
Hmm,
somewhere along the same, I'll take on forestry if you want me to.
I'll make a motion to appoint Jamie to forestry.
Second.
Any other discussion? Jamie?
Yes.
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 All right. Okay, planning and zoning.
Or be library.
Library.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, Shar happens to me. Okay, library,
I am actually interested in that. That's-
fantastic. I'll make a motion to appoint Shar.
Second.
Any other discussion? Jamie?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Can I do that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't know if I could.
Okay, now planning and zoning. Currently, I'm on there now.
How many things did you pick up?
One.
You picked up one. So you have two. You have two. I have two. I think.
Yeah.
You can have three if you want.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm fine.
I
If
like
you've been on
planning
there.
and zoning.
Yeah.
I like the contractor end of it, having common sense. We have a really good board that's currently going now. For some of you who don't
Who's on
know,
the board? Who's on that board?
Kim Ankenbauer, Christy Meltz, Darren Lester, Mark. I don't think of.
and Carol.
And Carol Carlson.
Carol is our president, and then Christy is the vice.
Christy is Christy Becker originally.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
We all get along really good. And good discussions, actually.
Miss Buddy, do you have a strong interest for that?
No, I was just curious, that's all.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
all.
me too.
Either one
I
of you,
will-
I guess. I'm good.
I would,
I don't have enough.
I mean, I could, I'm only doing one, right?
You only have one?
You
I-
two.
No,
Library and human
Okay,
resources.
only have-
Thank you,
Okay,
sorry.
good, 'cause
I
you
was
only
like
have
losing
one,
my
we
mind,
get
I'm
you
like,
in there.
I think, okay. But I do know some of that stuff from previous life. So that is, I'm open to it if you guys need.
Would
help.
you be interested in it? I'll make a motion that Shar is appointed to planning and zoning.
Second.
Are there a lot of meetings? I mean,
Chelsea, you wanna?
planning and zoning meets currently the first and third Mondays, at 4:30.
Okay.
We do have a meeting next week. We had a meeting last week. Or it'll be next Tuesday, actually, as Monday's a holiday. Sometimes this type of year, not as much. When we start getting into the spring and summer, we can meet more frequently, yes.
And I know you don't get off work till 5, correct?
5, yes, but if I plan it right,
Okay,
usually we can make things like that work, so.
And it shouldn't be too much because you have human resources, which is once a month, and library is quarterly.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea of
Okay,
those
that
two.
was good to know.
I like to see people kind of reach out and try new things and, it's great. Oh, did we vote on that?
Who seconded?
I second it.
Okay, there's no vote yet.
All right, Jamie?
Yes.
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 All right. And that is it, correct?
That is it.
All right. Okay, number 8, waive the fees for the EMS banquet. I'll make a motion to waive the fees for the EMS banquet.
I'll
I'll
second.
go ahead.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say, can
You
I
bet.
second that? Okay.
Sure.
Gotta be quick.
The commission is invited to attend that as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
good, okay.
Clayton wanted me to
When
make
is
sure.
it?
It is January 31st.
I saw that today. Thanks for the email for that.
Supper,
Yes, that was
entertainment,
my fault.
No,
Legion will be open.
Oh, yep. Perfect.
It's a very good time. They usually have a special speaker.
Oh, nice.
All right, so we have first and second on that. Jamie?
Yes.
I abstain from voting. I'm on the ambulance, so.
Oh. So,
I don't know. It's not like it's a huge deal. It's just, I don't know. Should Did I vote on that? I just handed her a piece of paper that had them on there.
It also involves law enforcement is also part of EMS. So that you should, talk to the law enforcement center and encourage some of those to show up.
Okay.
I guess just to explain maybe a little bit. So what you'll read about the conflict of interest in there, it's not something that's like enforced on you by other people. It's more of just like by your conscience. In other words, like you can't necessarily with the commissioner say, well, you have a conflict of interest and like abstain them from voting. You can as a table, but an individual really can't.
And somebody else can come in too, if it is a direct, it happened in a prior one where a actual person was approving bills that was being paid to them. And they had a citizen come in and fought it, for it being a conflict of interest, so, I mean, yes, it is, some of it is conscious thing, some of it is a legit thing, where you separate, I guess, business and commissioner, but there was a big ordeal in a city where they had one of their citizens come in and fight it on conflict of interest, so.
And not like this wouldn't be a huge deal just because I volunteer in the ambulance and it's a portion of that fee or whatever. Like it's
Right.
not that huge of a deal, but just so everyone knows kind of what that is, just for the future. You probably handed in that sheet to Chelsea that she emailed out, and anything on there you should probably not be approving bills or anything for. Just to keep that in mind. So.
Okay.
Sorry for the explanation during our voting, but we have new people, so just
That's
to
fine.
let people know.
I'm thankful, thank you.
All right. Do you vote or abstain?
Abstain.
I'm gonna abstain if you abstain, so,
Yes.
Brandon?
Yes, okay.
Okay, thank you.
I'm the one that interrupted, don't worry.
I'll get faster at this, I promise.
They, they've been waiving the fees for this for
For what?
30 years or more, so.
Okay.
All right, petition to vacate street,
Jared, if you wanna come up,
hot seat.
Yeah.
Use this one, get more comfortable the more often I'm in here.
So I guess I spoke with, spoke with Kevin DeSalle, who's the other adjoining property member on the other side of it. He thought it was already done years ago. When we purchased the property, he thought it was done years ago as well, but after talking to the county, they said it wasn't, and so I thought it'd make sense to pursue it again and see if there's any issues with it.
Adam, you've got the most experience down that way. Is there any issues with vacating that street?
Not especially, I mean, there's a water line running through,
that's that
or
sheet.
sorry, sewer line,
That, yeah, I printed out for you guys, I think it's worth noting that,
so, yeah.
So basically, this is.
Yes,
it runs right here.
yeah, okay,
So if you're like looking at Google Maps.
there we go, that makes sense.
So it's really closer to, I mean, depending on where it's mapped at, but
There.
if we were to vacate this,
It's,
that's,
Up on the-
it's essentially in the middle.
Yes.
The sewer from the houses along Third Street, south of Main, their sewer goes through that street, and it goes to the lift station that's down there. But that's the only issue with it, I mean, we don't necessarily need to own that land, but as long as we maintain an easement to either repair or replace that sewer line, shouldn't be an issue.
So would that mean they couldn't build on that?
Correct.
Over the top, yeah.
And if they, well, they couldn't anyway, cause it's probably, it would be too close anyway. Because everything has to be 8 feet off the side property line, but not fences. We might, hypothetically, we might allow somebody to build a fence over it, but the easement will allow us to take the fence down and not pay for it. Pay for a replacement on it, if they decide to put a fence up or something like that.
So this goes across the railroad tracks, sorry, I had a question. This goes across the railroad tracks down here, is this where the softball field is over here? Or is it down that side?
It's down this way.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so that's a different sewer line.
Okay.
You see where it says L,
Yeah,
kind of where that T is, that's where the lift station is.
Got it. Okay.
So, there's the line
This
that comes down from Third Street and the line that comes over from First Avenue and up. Those both drain into the lift station, and the dotted line is where it gets pumped out to.
And your house is like.
There.
Yeah.
Great. I guess do any easements have to be
I have
like listed in the actual like paperwork?
Yeah, most likely.
That's right, okay.
And we haven't done that, I don't
This is
think.
Third Street.
Nothing I'm aware of.
I don't think so, it wasn't,
This is first.
which we could get there, not, I don't think it was on the petition to vacate, which is,
Oh, it wouldn't need to be on the petition. I
Yeah.
think.
Okay,
that's all, we would just work with getting an easement drawn up,
gotcha.
that would be recorded that we would have access to that sewer line.
Yep, because it says, we understand that upon approval, the vacated street will revert to the abutting property owner, subjected to any reserved easements for utilities or access as required by the city of. I was just wondering if they'd be in place before or not, and if not, then that's, so.
Yeah, so I don't remember what size easements usually are, but it's usually a distance on each side
Mhm.
of where the water, or in this case, sewer line is, so probably like 8 feet in each direction or something like that.
And I guess, just if you don't know, to vacate it, it would be in between those two properties that Jared owns and DeSalle owns. And it would split it where then 50% goes to one property owner and 50% goes to the other property owner. So that's how they kind of split that middle.
Mhm. So would it be fair to make a motion, to approve this, contingent on an easement for the sewer line in place?
Yes, and then it does have to go to a public hearing.
Okay.
It has to be published in the paper for 4 consecutive weeks. And then we would have to hold a public hearing on it as well.
Okay.
Okay, then I will make that motion to approve it, contingent on the easement for the sewer line.
I'll second it.
Okay. Is there any other discussion?
I have a quick question, just
Sure.
because I'm new to technically looking at
No.
this. But when you have these little spots down here, is this where the like junction places are? That are designated here, where, I know that this is where this meets, but like you have several here, all along there, like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Those are curb stops.
Okay.
I believe.
What are you talking?
The
what are you
blue
asking?
dots.
Blue dots, I'm just trying
Blue
to
dots
understand.
are water curb stops,
Okay.
for, individual service lines for the water.
Okay, gotcha,
And the green circles with the arrows on them, those are where manholes are.
okay,
And, the direction where the arrow's facing is the flow of the
of the
sewage.
water, got it, okay,
Thank you, Adam.
thank you.
So what would be the difference of leaving that there and they can kind of use it as they see fit? But I'm just thinking when this last go around with the PRV valve, when they had to dig and have such close tolerances up there, what would be the advantage? I mean, it'd be one thing if there was no sewer line through here,
Hmm.
but if people have to get in there and dig,
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of if there's an active sewer, it'd be one thing if there's nothing there, but there is something there, and you have to get in and work on it at some point, if you do, I'm not a fan of that.
My issue with it is how that affects because that affects the railroad area, and we'd have to get underneath. Right?
They're looking at right here, from right
Yeah.
here through here, is what they're doing, and the thing is,
Okay.
right now, if we abandon that, there is that 8-inch sewer line going through there, that, I don't know, Mark, when you watch those guys up there working on that sewer line,
So it'd be
Was
only for
that fun?
this section right there.
was that,
Not exactly. I mean, if you have obstacles, it really narrows your path, you know? Yeah.
This is something that we would tackle in the spring, right? Is that our plan?
So basically, we'd be releasing it to them to do whatever they want with that land, and then basically, we just need to fix something if something does happen. So hopefully not in the spring, but.
hopefully not, yeah.
because.
Okay,
does that
that's
goes
why I'm
in the
asking.
amount
Yeah,
of
so
building
it'd be,
towards that
gives them
sewer
the
line?
permission
I'm
to
sorry.
Does,
own that
Now,
property,
when-
basically. So
if you
instead of it being
vacate
a
that
street
alleyway,
with,
Yeah.
like,
how much closer can they build to
The
that?
different
sewer
margins
line?
that you have on each side.
It depends on where it is
Basically,
exactly.
their property would
Um,
expand to that
To that
line.
area.
We have,
The
like I
road
said,
would
we'd have
apply
an
to a property
easement
line and not to a street.
like 8 feet on each side, so they wouldn't be able to build on top of
It's
that 8
technically a
feet.
street.
Um, like I said, we may allow them to build a fence over it, but in that case, if we needed to get in there and repair or replace it, we would take that fence down and not
There's
pay
two
them
of
to
them.
replace it, or we would
There's
not
over-
replace it for them. They're
He
assuming the
owns- one
risk
owns this, one owns that.
of putting a fence up or
Oh,
something
And
like
they're
that.
like, well, we can do this. And then
But we would never allow anybody to build
Yeah,
on it.
obviously he knows that line, so he's not gonna build over it.
Yeah, as long as they don't, we wouldn't allow any permanent structure to be built on the easement itself.
Which would require a building permit anyway, so they couldn't just go ahead and do it.
Right.
Question. Technically, that's not an alley though, isn't it?
It's a street,
second?
It's a
yeah,
street.
second.
It's actually an avenue, but
Second avenue.
So it's 60 feet wide, correct?
Well,
Or
Uh,
66? So we're, pardon me,
That's what I understood. it
66
as.
or 80?
66? Or
Um,
60?
Third Street 66
I don't
after
I
80.
don't
remember.
remember.
Well, they're not all like that, but yeah, it's 66 or 80, whatever it is, but yeah.
Would it make a
80.
difference or make you guys feel better? I mean, I know I don't have any plans necessarily doing
But
anything, but
definitely
moving down the
80,
road in
yeah.
case somebody did, could you have an easement that reached further that made it
Yeah, it might be.
easier so that you wouldn't have the problem
Bring
of being,
Uh,
if something ever did
County
come up,
GIS,
that you'd
you can
have,
see.
instead of having 16 feet to work with, say you had 24 feet or something to work with. I don't know if that's allowable or not, or if it makes you feel any different, but
Adam, how wide are easements?
Depends, it can be anything we want it to be.
probably not bigger than what it currently is, but yeah.
Well, we can
Sorry.
require an easement into somebody's property that hadn't already had it without their permission, yeah.
Are you gonna be able to locate this and find out exactly where it's at? I'd like to know exactly where it's at.
Maybe, let's say maybe, yeah.
I would say the only way we would do that if we could find out exactly where it's at, because right now,
Right.
without it being vacated, you kinda got the grace between 60-some feet, right, to find it, but if we narrow that in.
Correct.
We better find it, right?
Yeah, this location is probably based on an old inaccurate map would be my guess. This was not, this has been there for a long time, so. And when we, developed the GIS program, a bunch of that stuff was just transferred over and it was more vibes than science, I guess, in some of it, so.
Because once people, I mean, if that wasn't there,
Yeah, so it'd
I mean, that'd probably be one thing, nothing's there, great, but there is physically something there. And just keep in mind what just happened up there,
Yeah, and we have to treat it like, say there's a power pole there,
Yeah,
or, it is a utility, so.
Yeah. I would like it more just to be on, my opinion,
Yeah.
more accurate.
Could table it to the next month and then get a few more questions answered.
and then, I mean, that's an ideal too, of widening the amount that
Easement.
an easement that an
easement.
excavator could get in there
Right.
and dig that up without too much turmoil. Yeah, just, cause once you give up a street, you're really not gonna give it back, are you?
No,
So, and then it's harder to get them, utilities back in there, right?
Yeah.
If that wasn't there,
That's
I'll-
what we,
I'll make a motion to table this till next month. I think we have time enough to.
I think there's a
we're in no
motion.
rush on it either on our end, there's no plans on our end.
Not to
Did
get
you
over-
make a,
Yeah, not to get overly technical, I had a motion, we
Oh,
just let it die
okay,
for a
you
second,
did make
which
a-
is fine.
okay.
Then we talked during the second time, which is fine, not a big deal. Ask for a second, I guess, a motion to approve it based upon the contingencies, be where we're at, and then if it dies, then we can,
Okay. Is there any more discussion?
is there a second to the motion?
Is there a second?
Who's?
Is there a
Mine,
second?
because I made a motion to approve it based upon.
Yep, and he
The-
seconded it.
Oh,
So we're
okay.
in
Okay.
discussion
I'm sorry,
phase.
buddy.
Okay, you
Oh,
have
okay.
to vote.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
got it.
thank you
Yep,
for
so we gotta
clarifying.
vote on it.
All
Sorry,
right.
I forgot about that. We got
That's
one
okay.
conversation.
Is there any more discussion? Jamie?
No.
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 Okay. So,
Now we-
yeah, I'll make a motion that we look into this and we will revisit it at the next meeting. Or at a special meeting.
Can a guy add on to it?
Motion?
Well, yes, let's look at, sorry.
So second, and then do I make an amendment?
No, I won't.
So I guess just in this discussion period, maybe we could give some specific things that we wanna find out, so it's just not awkwardly like floating there on
Yeah.
a theoretical table, right? So what are some specific things you guys wanna know?
Yeah, I think we wanna
I'd
look
like
at
a
it.
very,
I would like to get it located
yes,
and actually factually know where it's at.
that's
So
my,
We can,
Maybe.
yeah, we can see what we can do.
Who
And-
seconded that motion?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
And then also, if we could find out the exact width of that street. Yeah,
It's 80.
80.
it is 80,
Yep.
okay.
Cause yeah, if we did the easement, it'd be nice to know where it's at and where that easement's at,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
Or what easement we'd want from there, cause it could be bigger, it could be whatever you need. Maybe you think it's 20 feet, 30 feet, whatever, so.
yeah, cause it goes down in that low spot, so there's really, you're not going anywhere down that street, but there is utility there, so.
yeah.
So basically, the main thing just for the takeaway would be just getting it located.
All right, is there any more discussion? Jamie?
Yes.
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 All right, we'll see you next month.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Fish cleaning station contract.
Okay, we are up for to renew our contract with Game and Fish. This entails our fish cleaning station. We keep a log of that weekly, especially in the summer, of who's up there cleaning it, doing the bugs, any maintenance that's done to it, and then we have Salas come in and clean it as well. We log that, and then that spreadsheet all gets turned into Game and Fish, and we can receive 50% of 5,000 unless there's excessive overages. They may look at it and reimburse us more. Typically, it is right around that $2,500 mark. But this will be good for our 2026 year to have that contract with Game and Fish then. If you guys approve it.
Somebody would like to make a motion to approve this contract?
Motion approved.
I will
So-
sec,
Second?
I can second that.
All right, any more discussion? If not, we'll start it. I think they've got to just know. Brandon?
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, joint powers agreement, McLean County. Chelsea, you wanna?
It is an election year, and typically when we don't have a special election, we are joined with McLean County. They do everything for us. It's always at the Memorial Building, but this would be our agreement with them that would allow us to have them, I guess, provide everything for the city election in coherent with the county election in June and in November. I can't remember. The charge will not exceed 1,000 and the minimum amount will be 100.
I can read upside down, yeah. It went upside down, yeah. But it's good.
Somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
All right. Is there any other discussion? Not, Brandon?
Yes.
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 Yes. All right. Property value adjustment.
Okay, so I gave you the rundown of the email that I received from Jesse, and then I did attach all of this documentation from NERDERF, is they were looking at our buildings and determining some of them were probably short on their coverage. Being as I just got this last week, we had a meeting today, I thought we could discuss it. The memorial building, which has had a lot of updates to it, we did increase it a few years back, but after they seen the interior of the building and the basement, they have updated that cost estimator. So right now it's insured for 2.5 million, and they are suggesting to raise that up to 4.7 million. That would increase our yearly rate of about 2,900. The water treatment plant also is undervalued. It would increase the premium of about $1,000 for that per year for that. The white storage building needs to go up as well for about approximately $44 a year. Well, that's larger than that.
The white storage building is the one across the street, correct?
Correct. And there's fire trucks that are kept in there. The library is undervalued as well, increasing that. Compound storage, increasing that just a little bit. So the total additional annual premium would be approximately $2,666. It would be prorated due to it being midterm, but then we should have all our buildings up to where they should be in case anything were to happen. So if there's more detail in that property values and conditions, you can see where they were at, or if you have questions on what the increase would be and where it's going to, and what the actual building is, that was provided as well. But yeah, that's the summary of where we're at. So
And this is through Western Frontier, or
correct.
right now? Do we have to vote on this right now? Is this,
No. We would just keep the values where they're at currently.
just kind of a dumb question, I'm just gonna throw it out here.
No?
You know, see, Buddy's on, buildings and grounds. Keith is on, finance. Is this like a good thing to have those commissioners look at that and then come to the next meeting and kind of give it their yay or nay? Or should we just go through with it?
I mean, we could do that. I don't know what more, like, we're gonna go fact finding, what more to find.
They,
if it's already
yeah,
there.
Jesse came in, took pictures, submitted them to NEDERF, and then NEDERF came back with their recommendations as to why these buildings were undervalued based on the pictures that they received.
How long ago were they looked at?
What's that?
Like, when's the last time they were looked at?
Like 3 months ago. There was, when it was, our policy was renewed back in October. The NEDERF must have looked at it, which is like our state, who the agents kind of fall under for the city. And then they had Jesse go and get pictures, so Jesse had to go to individual buildings and get pictures and submit them. Cause he didn't agree with like 2 of them, but based off of what NEDERF saw off their pictures provided to them, they said that these buildings were all undervalued.
I know,
So
how
they were
long-
recommending the increase in the premiums to be
I mean, when's the
insured.
last time it's been done before this, like, why are they so undervalued now?
In the last 5 years, they've been really going around to cities. A lot of them were kind of pushed by the wayside where they weren't probably increasing them. So back in, I want to say roughly like 2022, some of the premiums went up for the buildings that weren't, they went around when they had, I think somebody new come in. They couldn't hit them all. Now, I think they've gone in and are doing a deeper dive into some of those. So they wanted actual pictures, so they had to submit physical pictures for them to determine. That's where these numbers are coming from.
Where does the dog pound building?
It's not in the compound.
It's not, yeah,
Yep.
the south end of the compound along the fence.
Now, I guess there is specific questions that you want answered. I can certainly get you different or more.
I just think it was like an onboarding thing, you know, with the grounds, it'd be something like that to where the commissioners with that portfolio might wanna get involved with that, just a thought, so.
It's a good question, actually. Especially when you're looking at, we're talking about money.
Right.
Make sure that we're making a wise decision. Is there a consensus to want to get some answers before we try to put it to a vote?
I'd feel better about that.
Okay, what specific things do you want answered? So that I can relay that to Jesse.
And so I'm not, I mean, let's look at their pictures, I guess they took, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
They know more about it than I do.
Probably a little bit more explanation of the adjustment for the added increase.
This wasn't on, like Thursday when I checked, the online, it wasn't on there, I don't think, was it, or?
I think you just got this in an email from Jesse last Wednesday.
Yeah, this is a separate email, I believe.
Yeah.
There was explanations and stuff, which I don't believe is in the meeting packet here. I think they emailed it. I can
There's
check
a
that
specific email that details all of it, and then there's this whole thing,
Yes.
including all pictures and the adjustment. Each building,
Well, what
the
I'm saying
percent
is,
value,
as they're looking through it here, I think it's just that, the one with the picture. It's the PDF, is that like 17 pages in your left hand?
and this was included in
Was
it. If it's not on there, I guess,
Cause this is, on our packets at least, it starts with the color picture, ender, member services, property values and conditions. Right, I did see his email, yes, but I guess I'm not seeing the forwarded email in here, I could be wrong though.
I'm not understanding.
Like, you're asking about the email that this was sent with, probably.
Yes, yep, cause only
That's
the.
this.
That's this?
I just
Yeah.
put it into a PDF instead of printing the whole.
Okay,
Because we had been trying to get in
Oh, it's
touch
all in a
prior,
single-
so that's what this
Okay.
PDF is that says, "Hi Chelsea." We have not had any luck getting together to look this over, so then he just detailed it out for me. And then did to summarize. But I mean, I can get a copy of all that if you.
No, and we do in our emails, and that's all I'm saying is that specific email's not in the packet here.
Oh,
but
this
it-
isn't?
It is in our emails, no.
should I,
And sorry, I think that's what they're looking for right
okay,
now. maybe.
you want,
I get what you're saying.
Cause there was more explanation in there, so you are right, Chelsea, you did see the more explanation, it's in that email in
should
your
I print
hand.
the, or make some
Sure.
copies?
Yeah, might as well,
Thank you, yeah,
we could just come back to this, Mark.
is that okay?
Sure.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so we can move on. All right, authorizing spending limits.
These are pretty much the same.
Yep, this is what they currently are. I don't know, there has been some discussion possibly of increasing those. I guess with two new, we've had some. Last month, we had a motion with no price tag adjusted to it. To fix a sewer line, or a water line to hook them back up. That is going to be a pretty price tag for the city. Was it necessary to be done right then and there in the middle of the winter? You guys said yes. So I guess there was some questions as to when a motion is made to put a limit onto, yep, go ahead and get a contractor and approve it. Coming back with what it's gonna cost us, there could have been some different feelings on it. And then allowing, I guess, staff and city auditor maybe a little more leeway to approve things that are maintenance required that would fall a little bit over this 1,500, of maybe increasing that a little bit. But for Buddy and Shar, this is currently what is authorized for spending limits. Where the full commission approval, yes, anything 4,000 and up.
Okay.
And just to over explain, cause I guess that's the mood I'm in. It would be basically, if we send you out to go find stuff and get something done, is why that would be relevant. 'Cause just in case you're wondering, well, if the whole commission approved it, why couldn't you spend whatever you want in her comments? The reason was because that individual got sent to go figure that out. And if it's past these thresholds, then they have to come back to the commission for approval.
Okay.
Whereas we kind of broke that by just saying, whatever it costs, just do it, is what she's saying, so.
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think we put, like, say maybe Adam in a situation, because we didn't state a value and who to get and whatnot. So I mean, I don't know, I think back to like, and remember what happened to Marvin Stroh, he ended up having to, remember that situation, but anyway, I think people did their job, they went out, it got done, but that can kind of put stuff in a bad situation, I feel, so I did ask Chelsea to put this on here just as a, kind of with two new people here and ourselves and how we vote, we should probably look at this, you know, and I think like you're saying, make better,
Informed decisions?
yeah, in how we vote, or how we put
Well,
up.
How the motion is
I would-
stated too, I
Thank
think, they've kind of been laxed, in looking back at meeting minutes, so I think just a little more thorough in how motions are made and like exactly what you're approving, would be very helpful too, especially if anybody has to go back and reference it, it's clearly stated. Not that, you know, there's some discussion on it and that's my motion. Well, what is your motion? A little more detailed.
Good point. I have a question. So this water line fix is actually still part of the PRV project? Because, I mean, to where there was I don't wanna call it an accident, but there was something done that,
It would be unrelated to the PRV project. So we wouldn't be able to add it, I would assume, to those funds that were used for that.
Yeah, I would have to contact a lady at the state too, but I don't think it'll fall under that funding as it really was not a part of the project.
right,
So I don't,
it happened during the project. That's-
I don't,
That's what I'm,
I mean,
I
it
guess
wasn't.
Well, I guess what happened?
A person's water line was cut through and they didn't know that it was,
Well, that's, okay, I'll
Current
explain.
line.
So, there was an old PRV up there.
At the
Yes.
old water tower, the red one by the
That's the old water tower, yeah. There was an old PRV there that was very, very old, and because we were taking the old tower offline, we wanted to replace that to make sure it was functioning properly. The new location of the PRV, because it was much bigger, had to be placed further back, so we couldn't replace it, where the old one was. Unknown to us, there was a water line connected between the pipe, on the pipe between the two PRVs, the old one and the new one. And because of the adjustment in the placing, the service line went from what we consider the new system, and then it got placed on the old system, just because of the way it was moved. So they ended up with less pressure than they were used to. So before they were getting like 70, and after they were getting like 35. Because people on the older part of the system, they have lower pressure, just because of the way it has older fixtures inside houses and older pipe. There's not much older pipe left, but there still is some cast iron. They wouldn't be able to handle the higher pressures of like where you live, basically. So that's why we can't increase that pressure to be the same on both sides. So they ended up with 35, which is, people up there have lived with that for a long time, but these people were used to 70. So they were unwittingly put on a lower pressure line. And so it was decided that they should be put back on the other line, so.
And that involved the immediate change, right? Has it already been done?
It's done.
Okay, that was my question, like, if it got.
and we haven't received a bill.
Not yet, I have not seen it. I have a good idea of the amount, but I have not physically seen the invoice. That was substantial.
So, just to talk about this a little bit, like, it's middle of winter, you have a water line break, right?
Mhm.
Are you gonna call a special meeting in order to get it repaired?
No,
Not really, right?
yeah.
And, you know, and then in this situation, it was snowing, it was a lower pressure, you know, we wanted to do with it. So how do we pick what's an emergency? Emergency is kind of a, how have we handled that in the past, I guess, when, say, an excavator comes and digs up and fixes a broken water line or sewer line middle of winter? Is that usually always just kind of falling under this, or just kind of just had to happen, or?
Well, I mean, it's a difficult question. Like, on stuff like that, you don't really get quotes first off, right? Because they don't know how long it's gonna take, so they can't really quote it out. And especially emergency situation, it's just something you just end up doing, you know? You
Especially
notify people that this is happening, but in the end, the cost ends up being the cost. You know, we try to use, you know, the lowest cost that we can find, but, usually it just ends up being who's gonna take it or who's available.
In looking at these numbers, is that something that should be changed to a different number to cover that, you know? Cause like, how do we, you know,
Gauge that.
give somebody the latitude at, you know, the city level, you know, like you guys, to get something fixed when it's really broken, needs to be fixed, and then, you know, basically, if it's not a dire emergency, then we go out for bids and vote or whatever, you know, how do we split it up?
Yeah, that's the hard thing.
My thought, if I can say, because of all of the rising costs that we've seen with stuff like that, like, I've encountered that since 2022. Like, it's usually costs are like double what they used to be. So I'm kind of along that line because it would be a lot more feasible to not so much of a tight budget where you know that it's gonna be more expensive in general anyway, right now, because of that reason. So it's just a thought I had about that.
And I don't know, yeah, we have to do something now, but as people get into their portfolios, maybe people, you know, at what point can people just have the latitude to, this is broke, let's fix it? And then at what point is like, this is an emergency, now let's get some quotes, you know?
No water in water, you know, like
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah, so it's just some things I wanted to bring up with this, deal, so.
And actually, just a thought, according to the strict reading of this 5 lines, I don't think one commissioner can buy anything anyways with the portfolio, because it has to be president and one commissioner.
and these I think were put in place in like
Long time ago.
I was gonna say,
2018,
Oh, no.
it seems like
2019, maybe the beginning of 2019. So when Jamie did ask about it too, I mean, it is something that could be discussed as, yeah, these are, I mean, pre-numbers of going up for sure. I mean, everything is way more expensive than what it used to be. I want to say it might have been April of 19 that these were put into place, or March, something like that. So, I mean, we can throw out maybe some numbers. Maybe it's an HR thing that we can discuss too
Yeah, sure.
At our next meeting.
Yeah, we do that.
okay.
Yeah, if you finance and look at some numbers and what things have been costing, and are these relevant numbers anymore?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, we kind of did put somebody, when we made that, motion or whatever to do what we did, we kind of put somebody in a situation where like, here, go get us fixed. Well, you know, you could have got somebody in trouble if somebody had a quorum with it, you know? So just something to think about, so.
And I guess just my thought is, with what I previously said with the president and one city commissioner, we probably still want those checks and balances. I would assume you want at least 2 people. But in the past, I know how we've talked, or how I've always thought is like, well, one person with their portfolio, they should have like a spending budget in that. But it should be a phone call to the president to do that, I guess. So keep it that way, obviously checks and balances. But I've never really had a portfolio where I had to buy anything except a employee get together at the holidays.
Yeah.
That's about, which I think just you bought, cause you can actually do that, but, yeah, so keep that, with the president, okay.
Yeah, I think the checks and balances are great.
Of
Just-
course.
Just whether they should be updated and then
Yeah.
what constitutes an emergency and what's not, I guess. So-
I don't know, yeah, we could try and get to that, we'll see, cause that might be a little bit more tough, cause beyond that, it'd be only 3 people, we would only need 3 people to do 4,000 to the moon, you know? So like, yeah, we can talk about that, what, if we need to do like emergency,
I think that's a good idea, yeah.
we'll figure it out.
All right, we'll come back to that item next month with some more discussion. I do have one question for Chelsea and Adam. So if we have a safety issue that we need to correct, can the president of the commission make an executive order to get something fixed, repaired because of a safety issue?
Like, do you have an example?
Say we had a massive storm come through and toppled a bunch of trees and this and that, and we need to get a contractor in here to clean up the mess.
Wouldn't the
Uh,
trees be like in the, like our property in the middle of the street,
Well,
Ripple's personal property?
it would be like probably on the streets to where we have all these branches on the road, trees that are leaning, you
I
know.
mean,
It's
Say
a
on Fourth
safety-
Avenue, I get called, maybe a throw scenario, okay, there's trees down, that's on Forestry, right? And then it's on the street, my portfolio, so then what would I tell people, or what could I,
well,
or
I
work,
mean,
or work
every
with you on?
major storm that had a lot of trees down, we take care of it ourselves, I guess, so.
Typically, right.
It's always been that way.
Right.
We've never done it any other way as far as I'm aware.
I guess
But-
just to answer your question of like, do you have that authority? You don't, according to this, you need to get at least 1 commissioner to go between 1,500 and 4,000,
Which could be one that's on a portfolio.
which could be, or not. but
I
just,
guess,
yeah.
are you asking if you can act unilaterally without the staff's input? Is that
No.
what you're asking?
Yeah, on a,
I would not think so.
okay. No, that's fine.
Yeah, cause I mean, just a thought, I mean, since you guys are working on this, is like, you know, there's gonna be someone like Adam or Zach or Chelsea, and then there's probably gonna be a commissioner involved, so like, those guys are out there standing, looking at the street and going, oh my God, this happened. What economic latitude can they take to get that situation resolved?
Right.
Mhm.
I guess is the question.
It seems like what you're asking for is for like a list of like emergency situations on here that could bypass the number, basically.
Yeah, or, yeah,
Okay,
I don't know
Yeah.
if that makes sense,
it does, yeah.
so.
I mean, I know what you guys are saying. And not that you want to be sneaky, right? But with the president and 1 city commissioner, you don't have to have an open meeting. That could be simply be a phone call or something like that. So that covers you up to 4,000. Should that be more? Probably. But then beyond that, like, I think it would be easy enough to get 3 of us together in an emergency if you.
Call a special
Because
meeting.
these specialists, these contractors are probably doing other things already, and I'm sure you'll probably get a hold of each other before you get a hold of them anyways, so it'd be best to just have that special meeting. If someone can't meet, we'll Zoom, we're all trapped in, igloos up to forever, then we could just Zoom each other if the internet's working, I guess. I don't know, so
Sure.
there's
Yeah.
ways around it is what I'm saying. It's like, if you're in the middle of the street, then say, hey, get over here, whatever,
Yeah.
have a special meeting
Yeah.
in 30 minutes, and then call the paper or whatever.
I just
Yeah.
don't like the idea of only one person knowing and going ahead and doing it, like,
Yeah.
we can't
Right.
have that.
Or,
Right,
I
yeah, well, we
agree.
aren't gonna do that
Right.
at all. No,
And
no,
No,
no.
there should be staff and then like a president or commissioner at least, probably, I mean,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah,
so.
I guess.
So you're saying maybe a mid-tier here would be staff, city auditor, or works manager,
I'm gonna
plus a commissioner.
maybe I'll throw a buddy in the hot seat. I'll go, okay, maybe Memorial Hall. You walk in there, oh, it's cold as heck. It's about ready to freeze up. Let's get K&D over here and fix this. what latitude does he have to do that? You know, or what constitutes an emergency, what doesn't, you know?
Sure.
Or, you're, no, we're fine, let's just get some quotes and bring it back.
Right. That-
So,
That makes sense.
a middle tier, that is correct, like there would be an actual, another line here
Sure.
of a different budgeting amount after we figure out the actual numbers.
Right, because then maybe these, like, if you guys had something over 1,500 for some fix,
Right,
and you could just call a single commissioner or call president, vice president, whatever it
and get it
is,
done.
and just get it done, right?
Or,
I mean,
um,
that's an option, yeah.
in the emergency situations we're used to, like water breaks, sewer breaks, things happen really quickly. We don't really ask for quotes, you know, so we wouldn't have a dollar amount to give you guys.
Well, we wouldn't even need it, I mean, legally speaking, you don't necessarily need to provide like sealed bids and all that fun stuff. Yeah, so I guess how would we do that then?
I
So
don't
it'd
know.
be the exact same thing why we're even on this little.
Right.
Yeah,
But what
Yarn ball.
constitutes as an emergency and what's not, and it's hard to pinpoint and say this is and this isn't because different scenarios come up. Now, somebody having a pipe break and not having water is kind of a big deal. Somebody having, or the memorial building having no heat and freezing,
Right.
kind of a big deal.
Amenities that are.
You know, depending on the time of the season. If it's the middle of January, it's other than this year, you know, and that's where I think it's gonna be hard to determine when some of those emergencies are case by case.
yeah, I think in situations that allow it, we always get a quote.
Yes.
Or if we're directed to do something as quickly as possible and aren't given a number, I mean, we do it, you know.
But typically in those cases of emergencies, that portfolio commissioner is informed. Like, hey, we had this line break, we're repairing it. Hey, we have,
Right,
you know, this or that, where that commissioner, at least for that portfolio, is informed of what's going on, so they're not blindsided either when it comes up. They'll,
Right.
okay. I mean, most of the time,
I'm just trying to think of the best way to do that. Good things to bring up for sure. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely just bring it back to HR.
Okay.
All this info, just figure something out.
Okay. Uh, 14, special assessment policy.
you can come up.
Sure. You wanna introduce this or should I?
Go for it.
Okay.
Kind of your baby.
Alright, so, firstly, welcome, those of you that are new. You don't know me, I'm Abby, I work with A2S. A2S is a city engineer, I am not an engineer. I help with project funding. So kind of, as the city finished up their last street project, I was working with the Special Assessments Commission, getting the assessment list put together. City, if you have the engineer's report, is looking at, that Heritage Heights, street and drainage project. But as we started discussing that project, we thought it would be beneficial to develop a special assessment policy. That way, as we maybe have staff or commission turnovers, new special assessment commissioners, we have kind of a map, a roadmap of how things are being assessed. We ensure that things are being applied consistently so that, you know, if the rest of the city is contributing for one project 10 years down the road, they will continue to contribute and everyone's kind of equitably treated that way. So, I was tasked to work with Chelsea and Dave Lindell on figuring out a draft of what a policy could look like. So I have two different examples in front of you. Let's see, there's one that's just over a page, and then we've got one that is 3 pages long. So the shorter version is kind of a revised template from Valley City. The longer version came from the city of Washburn. And I will caveat these right away. Obviously, I'm not an attorney. I would recommend getting an attorney's opinion as far as the legal validity of everything that's being stated here. you know, it has been used by other cities. I modified a little bit just to keep things consistent with where the city wanted to go. So essentially, these policies are mostly saying the same things, or they're saying they have a lot of the same pieces, right? So both policies are stating how assessments will be, costs will be allocated by improvement type, right? So we look at water and sewer, which is allocated based off of lot square footage area. Streets and stormwater, we use that modified street frontage. That was measured and applied for the street project we just completed. Sidewalks are assessed directly to the lots that are benefited by the sidewalk repairs. I believe we kept it very simple as a starting point for the types of improvements. You know, you can go into more detail on local streets, arterials, what have you, but we kept it kind of a blanket by infrastructure type. Differences that you will see, let's see, the Valley City, the 1.5 page policy is shorter, in my opinion. It's the purpose is very high level of, we're following Century Code. I did highlight Valley City had language regarding sending notification letters to property owners. I know there had been some discussion on wanting to send letters out for assessments in the future. So that would, if you decide you want to do that, obviously language is fine. If you don't want to set yourself up to always be sending letters out, because technically Century Code does not require you to send out letters. You are required to publish in the paper, but you don't need to send out a letter. So, from a policy standpoint, do you want to have that stated? Entirely up to you. The longer policy that's 3 pages with West Fargo, they actually go into detail on the general process of the special assessments. So, it's a place that you can look at, it starts with the assessment commission approving their, 3 residents to the assessment commission. They receive their costs, they have their public hearing, kind of all the way through to the final city commission meeting. So that can be a nice kind of summary for anyone that's interested in understanding how assessments work. The West Fargo example also provides definitions. So, if we want to look at what does front footage versus square footage actually mean, that can be helpful. Or there's references to where the water supply system and sewer supply system, it references the Century Code on what types of improvements are included there. And then there's a separate section in the West Fargo one as far as adjustments, just kind of some blanket language on how adjustments could be made and what latitude they have. The Valley City policy on the very back, there's a small section on protests and, that property owners must be given the opportunity to protest. In the event of street improvements, it states that if it's a water or a sewer project, you are not required to have a public hearing, a protest where the project could be protested out. So we can pick one format, we can kind of consolidate.
Make it all.
Exactly. These are just starting points of examples I found that I kind of thought were good layouts.
So we're looking at, sorry.
No, go for it.
So this first one is from where? Is this
The
from
shorter
us?
one is from Valley City.
Okay.
Yep. Longer one is from West Fargo.
Okay.
And I guess one of the reasons I'm bringing this here is as we're continuing to move the Heritage Heights Street and Drainage Project forward, we were given direction that we wanted to start drafting the assessments so that we could send letters out and people could get ideas of what it could cost them. And obviously it makes sense to kind of establish that policy before I start putting estimates together for everyone so that I know I'm using the method that you guys are looking for.
So I can throw this out there. During the time that I spent time talking with people in the petitioning process, that was the biggest feedback that I received. They really want to know, and I think it's worth postage. I know that's expensive, but I think that's really, really important for people, at least from what
And
I've
I would
heard.
say it's common in a lot of
Yeah.
cities. So it's,
More communication.
Yes.
so
Clear communication.
the West Fargo, the longer example, I wanna say, I wanna say there was, number, in the general procedure, it does mention that, let's see, there's a notice in the paper, list is filed. We could include something in there regarding letters, so again, we could kind of consolidate.
I think it's a good idea. And the reason, more so, I mean, everybody wants to be informed when it affects their land. Any costs out of their pocket, so,
And this is a little bit of a roadmap
yeah.
on what's coming.
And it also would help them, see how that would actually affect them,
Mhm.
because most people are like, hey, let's do this, but then when they realize how much it affects them, maybe they need to be more involved to help adjust that if they wanted that, that opportunity. So I think that's just what I've overall heard.
Sure.
And so I think that might be a really good point to help us.
Oh, I see it. It's in item D.
Okay.
Yep. Publish a list of the properties in the official newspaper or sending a letter to all property owners.
Because not everybody gets the newspaper or
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
has the ability to get the newspaper. A lot of people do depend, I think, on our Facebook page. And that's really helpful, but not everybody has that. So, an actual specific, especially how it pertains to them, that's the biggest concern, so. Just throwing that out there, so.
So basically West Fargo, but with no or, just and in the.
What, is this letter going to be in the very beginning, or is it going to be when they actually are like published in the paper?
That's a good question. So this is referring to, after the Special Assessment Commission has their draft list and they are preparing for their public hearing. So if you originally indicated you wanted a draft estimate letter going out at the beginning of the project, so that would almost be earlier in the
It would
timeline.
probably have to be.
So,
Which that was done on this last one, so I guess I'm just curious on when do people want these letters sent out, what their actual assessment is, or in the very beginning? Because otherwise that would be 3 sets of letters that we had to send out this last time for the special assessment to go through. Plus everybody's amount is different, so that would be 948 pieces of paper 3 times with 3
Well,
different
I
amounts.
think it makes sense to do it at the end when it's whatever it's gonna be. You can send out 3 different letters.
Right, that's why I'm asking, does it have to go before the public hearing? I mean, that's just a lot of extra work as well, so.
if
That's
it's a point of reference, as a
Bismarck.
Bismarck resident, they send letters out at the beginning and that's it. Essentially kind of,
And then
we
you
created a district, here's kind of the range we estimate.
Okay.
If you wanna come to public hearings, here's the date, we'll have them later on, so that's
Because that
one
allows them to
example.
protest it out too as well, correct? If they don't necessarily like that number? If that's a part of the policy, or is that already too
I
far and
wanna
it's
say they
already
are,
going?
they time it so the protest period is already
Okay.
done. But, it's entirely up to you guys. You're essentially adding an extra communication. You're going beyond what Century Code requires, so you can kind of time it however you want.
So that's great to know. I didn't know that you guys had done 3. Is that right? Am I understanding? that right?
Before this last special assessment was actually finalized, yes, we had 3 separate
different,
public
okay.
hearings, 3 separate listings, which they were posted on our website and on and in the paper, because we have to do it in the paper. So I guess I am just, if they don't like the first number, and it goes back to the commission for them,
To
which
be
the
reviewed.
policy is guidelines to hopefully not have that, but then do we have to send them all back out again?
Maybe a case by case, I don't know. Like if there is, someone that comes and
Well, I mean,
Protest.
no matter what, any way you pick, there's gonna be protests.
yeah.
There is, yes.
But
No
are
matter how we do it.
we're saying we're trying to get the special assessment formulas done before the construction project?
That was my understanding of what commission wanted to see.
Yeah,
It was a draft we establish the district, and then we'll get a draft assessment list based off of the policy that you have created. And then from there, it's just the assessment commission meeting to, look at special circumstances where adjustments might need to be made.
the corner lots and stuff like that.
Right.
Exactly.
And if I'm not
Leaves
mistaken,
or, yeah, different things like that.
if I'm not mistaken, that actually answered both yours, because you would send out your letter, but it would have the more information that they're looking for, Charlotte, because it would have an estimate, because there'd be a formula
Right,
that an estimate can be sent out on.
so that
with the
they could
letter you're
actually
talking about.
have an idea, hey, my lot is this much, okay, so this is gonna approximately be this much for me.
Which would be in the timeline of West Fargo's, I believe. Because isn't that when our letters go out, basically, Special Assessment Commission receives the total cost figure, and then once they kind of figure it out, that's when our letters went out?
Well,
When-
the
when-
letters
when it
that,
gets published in the
when
paper.
we mailed, yeah, I guess, yeah, it's the last one we did, when they got published in the paper is when it went out, with, no letters went out, but it was published in the paper and it was posted on online.
So it
Is
should-
that where our,
Okay,
then we'd have to, like, along with that, we would have to mail out individual letters.
so yeah, so we'd add letters to it, it would be a possibility.
And do people read their letters from the city of Washburn?
Every single one, I put them on my fridge.
Are we? when
Not that
we're-
I
Contrary to
not that I
a
want
lot of
more
other
mail.
people.
when we're
They
doing-
don't.
Some
When
people-
we're doing this up front, are we going off the engineer's estimated value?
Right,
Or
so,
are
so
we
that's
going-
that's the hard part,
Yeah.
is we are going off of engineer's estimates.
Yeah, at least
I
they,
would recommend we use a range
Yeah.
and be conservative. Like, for example, with the drainage project, and obviously we'll get into more detail, but we have a number of grants we've applied for, so it would always be better to be,
higher than.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, and then have that number come up at the end.
So it won't be, no matter what we do, it'll never be perfect, cause you don't know what grants are gonna come through, and sometimes you get the grant
And the
at the
bids
end
could
of.
come in high too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, depends
Which-
on the bid environment as well.
That's, I mean, I like the conservative part, because then we're gonna tell them this amount, and if it comes in high, they're gonna be like, well, you told me this, and now you're telling me this, and it's higher.
So a
and then
range
we
is
have to deal with-
necessary.
Right, yeah, and the
that.
project's already going to have
Okay.
contingency built into it, you know, kind of
An idea.
But at least the ratio is kind of figured, we go off the engineer's
yeah.
conservative, or conservative number or range.
Mhm.
And then we go down and we pick whether we're doing linear footage or we're doing per lot size. That's kind of figured before the project goes through.
Right.
Exactly, the framework's already there, it's
Yeah.
just plugging in that total.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, so.
That would
Kind of
be-
taking the guesswork out of the commission to figure
Well,
all that out by
exactly,
hand,
like-
like, this is how we do it. Now, I guess, yeah, your responsibility, or, you know, to look at your special circumstances of coolies or different things that may come up that you know by looking at your sheet. Well, this seems kind of high for what this is, maybe we need to look at this, and then that's where they make that adjustment and have their reasoning for backing it up based off of their reasonings, not on the formula.
And, you know, up there on Custer, this next one coming up, there'll be two streets kind of parallel to each other, possibly being done at the same time. So at least the guy knows, well, am I getting hit with both of these, you know,
Right.
or not, or is it?
You can look to the policy to see how it should be applied, yeah.
Yeah, so at least that citizen knows kind of before the thing starts about how this is,
Another element of communicating.
yeah.
Which I think
you
that's
guys
really
being
what
down
they're
there, What do
asking
you guys
for.
think, having it down?
I think the more communication you have, the better.
It would have made your job a lot easier to have the policy.
It would
in
have had,
place.
yeah, sometimes I wouldn't have to spend.
So I
Years.
think,
I think people just got so much lost in the transition for how long it took. Like, they thought it was
Yes.
done, and then, oh, it's not, well, then I thought it
Right.
was
The
this, and it's
methodology
not,
got
it's because it
revised,
was
yeah.
changed, I think people just got lost in that transition for it.
And like you said, no matter what policy you come up with, someone's not gonna like it, but I mean,
But then it makes the assessment commission's job
Right.
easier,
Mhm.
because, you know, if you don't like the policy, come to the city commission
you
and,
can adjust
you know,
it.
let's
Yeah.
keep things consistent year to year.
And they either gotta think about, I'm gonna drive on this crappy road, or I'm gonna pay this much money,
Right.
you know, before it happens, not after.
Yeah.
So it just adds the extra level of predictability for the
Yes.
people here that live here, and that they can have that assurance, okay, I understand what I'm facing. If I buy this property, I'm gonna be dealing with this. Or, I mean, that really would help, I mean, people that are purchasing or trying to do things like that, or even modify their land or do easements or things like that. Like whatever they're planning to do. if they know how it operates, so.
Since you were on there, buddy, do you think the letters would be useful at the same time as when it's in the paper? Like, did you
I
hear a bunch
would.
about that?
If you're gonna send
I don't
it
know
out
when people
there,
look
you
at
might as
letters,
well.
I mean,
Yeah,
I honestly thought it'd be better at best online, I mean,
online.
2026, I think most people have the internet nowadays, but, I mean, could be wrong.
Cause I think we even did put it online and everything. I was all
yeah,
on there, yeah,
yep.
so,
More people, some people don't get the mail for how long nowadays, I mean.
right.
Just a
I thought the internet's,
little
is way
card.
more reliable than mail, but.
Well, that is true.
We're looking at your phone.
Can we get every citizen's email? Probably not.
Oh, we have, I mean, a handful of them.
That's actually an idea.
Because-
Then we see if they read it or not, you know.
Yeah, I mean, a mass emailing with a red receipt on it, but I just,
Yeah.
I know there are people that read their mail. I know there are people that see City of Washburn and they junk it. So then, is that going to be saying, well, I never got it? You did, but you didn't read it, you know? Which, it could still easily be posted online because that's a matter of uploading a PDF. That's easy. I would still do that.
But that is a
But
great idea.
We do have a handful because some people get their utility bills emailed.
Yes.
Now, if I could get everybody to give them to me, would be another thing. But that would be a great thing of just sending an email out, hey, too, with a red receipt on it, and I could see
Yeah,
if they wanted to. Now, whether or not you choose to click yes or no, but
yeah.
that is an option too, where then they know they can receive it because a lot of people will look at their email
Yes.
And if we
and
did
then
that,
have that link on there for them to go and find it too.
a big public notice saying this is how we're going to send this out, if we do it like a huge
Right.
public notice. But
And it gives them the opportunity to join into that. Or even people that don't, would we have a way to track that so that we know, hey, we should send an extra notice to this Rushburn resident because they don't have any of that. They don't have online access or for whatever reason, or whatever that regard, you know, so that you know, okay, this person probably needs an extra pamphlet because they're checking their mail. Or, you know, things like that, where you can gauge it a little bit better, you know. Do you know what I mean? Like people that want to have that avenue of an email versus paper.
So, yeah, that'd be really, really labor intensive, like all the tracking analytics of like, what did this person do, that sort of thing. I know what you're saying though, like as accessible as
Just
possible.
you could save that way too, so we don't have to spend.
And we do have some of those things. We have like I don't remember what it's called, the e-newsletter. You can register on our website
Right,
and you can
something
do the
like
push
that.
notification.
And
we
it
have
got
all
sent
that.
out on that too.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So we have all these things available, but at some point, people need to have the personal responsibility to be involved in like what's going on, and not just like, well, you didn't reach me through these 6 avenues, and this is my preferred one. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like there has to be a certain amount of hits for the biggest amount of people, and then beyond that, like if someone missed it, then we can lovingly instruct them how to get it next time, sort of thing. Yeah.
I do like the email thing though, option or idea too though, Jamie. And I know we do. Like I said, we have a good portion of people that
does that make a ton of work for you, or is that better?
it would be okay. I would be just getting all the email addresses and plugging them in. It might, but
A read and receive might be nice, wouldn't it? I mean, like, well, I didn't get this, well, it says you did.
yeah. But I
Or you
mean,
could just get everybody's phone number and do like an Amber Alert and send them a text and then it'll.
well, yeah. But anyway,
They'll read that.
now
Where we go.
hypothetically, if everybody would just go onto our website and subscribe to get text messages, I mean, that would be the simplest to go post that alert and say, hey, it's out there, here's the link, and they could go and read it.
Can you do that with their water and sewer? If you want our water and sewer, or, garbage, with your garbage bill. If you want that, you must sign up for this or something. How are we gonna notify you?
Yeah.
You know,
But that isn't out, we could put on our utility bills too, you
Yeah,
know, like
utility
subscribe here, but yes. I mean, cause that would be the best way, that's easy just to go in there and then it gets sent out to everybody who is subscribed to that, and that I can see.
Yeah.
And that would be, I mean, probably the best idea, so I guess if we can start pushing everybody to go subscribe.
Yes.
And it's a big red box on our website, it's right at the top.
so this fancy system that we were getting for the water, can that tie into this at all? That,
That box, I don't know, cause that's just to read it, we don't have, that's just a ping and sensors that goes to them, that doesn't.
oh. Yeah, that was just to see if there's using X amount of water, then you could notify them.
Right, that's all, the computer system, but I don't think for sending out alerts for them, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
But I
all
do
that
kinda-
stuff is opt-in. You have to legally have people opt in to text and email communication.
And if they don't like the text option, they can just do the email option. You can do
Right.
both.
Right.
But that really would be the easiest, and we have that option by just subscribing at the top of our website.
True.
I mean, it's not my decision. You guys tell me.
So we could definitely talk more about
Yeah.
physical letters.
Yeah.
What's
Like,
easiest?
It's okay.
For you?
Yeah.
I think it was just more so the notice.
The letters are gonna
like
be
that.
hard.
Mm.
Because if we have to send them out, now if it was universal where, everybody in the project area paid 12,000, everybody in the outside the project area paid 6,000. But if we have to go customize every individual letter
Which is not, no.
to their property, their description, and their amount, that's gonna be really time consuming.
Could you do
I
a
know what to do
letter that doesn't have the dollar amount and it just says, hey, we've created a improvement district, there's an assessment coming, check out the city website?
That we
would
could
be
do.
the best, I think, yes. And then they know what they're
Then
doing.
I guess some of that responsibility falls back on them. Cause I mean, I know that they want to know their amount, but yet it would be,
If they wanna know their amount that bad, they'd make the responsibility to find it.
yes. But maybe that would be the option to go, like,
Yeah.
so that they're alerted to go check it if they aren't on Facebook or on the website.
the
That would be easier to have a universal one than changing
Right.
the legal description, the parcel, and the amount for every resident in town, because not everybody's gonna have the same amount.
Right.
I'm sorry, just to overcook the turkey a little bit. There actually would be a really easy way to do it with the letters, just with a spreadsheet. Like Canva Pro, you can literally just plug it in, you could have address labels ready, plus it'll fill in a letter automatically. So there's a way to do it, but,
I'm only on Canva Basic.
well, you can borrow mine, I guess.
Oh.
But, no, I'm just kidding. But there is ways to do it, but would it be worth it? I'm not too sure. But,
But it is
Yeah.
something that, I'd like that idea, because that would be, and then we could follow up with the email method for sure, with the rest of it.
So as far as timing of the letter.
When the newspaper, right, like when we,
So
When
after
will
the
you let
special
people-
assessment commission has started meeting? Or do you want it earlier?
And the letter's gonna say just blanketed that we're starting?
So, I mean, cause essentially I was asked to start looking at a draft list this month after we approve the policy. So I mean, by next month, we could have an estimated list. So you could have something out early. You know, once we have bids in hand, that number becomes a lot more accurate.
Okay.
So,
You're saying how soon before the project begins you'd send this out, or?
right, how early in the process, when we create the district and kind of get that draft list going? Or do you wanna wait until we have bids in hand and the assessment commission starts meeting?
and just for reference, the sample policy, at least West Fargo has it when the special commission.
Exactly, yep.
Starts meeting, yeah. I mean, would there be any benefit before that? You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there would be
I
any
don't think
benefit
so.
before that.
I think it would be the most beneficial when they start meeting.
So that and then we might probably have a good idea of like the commission meeting dates and maybe a public hearing, so.
yeah, so they can pay attention.
And then,
know
yeah,
what's
then they know that they need to.
If you have
Step
comment, now is your
Right,
time.
yeah.
So would you say 2 weeks ahead of whenever they meet? Is that?
That's a fair,
So ahead of the special assessment public hearing?
Yeah, is that what you're saying, or is that?
Because that does have to be noticed by a few weeks, right?
It does, yes.
Yeah.
3
It-
or
has
3 weeks.
30 days?
Third,
No, 15 days,
15 days,
15 days.
correct, yep. It was essentially, like 2 weeks, but 15 days, it has to be
So
published in the
about the
paper.
time we're
Okay.
dealing
So
with
that
the
would
paper.
make sense.
When when it goes.
Which
in the
again,
paper.
kind of,
So we should say 3 weeks to cover our bases then?
It goes,
Sure.
it goes hand in hand with the newspaper.
so just amend the language in that D. By publishing lists of properties in the paper and sending a letter to all property owners?
Or do we want to do the letter? Is that what we
Um,
want? Because it was kind of up in the air before.
On
Do we
your,
want the letter?
do you see who signed up for your stuff and who isn't on your,
Yes,
if you can see and sort would you send the letter to the people who see it, or is there, I'm still stuck on this way of communicating with everybody. I mean,
I
we don't
wouldn't
really dictate when and what we're sending all the time.
necessarily have to. I can tell you that I will be sending a way more letters than who is subscribed. I haven't honestly checked it.
Can we figure out some kind of like communication level, like by email or something like that, somewhat quickly, and then to bypass the letters? Because then, I mean, if they're signing
Yeah.
up for the email, then it could send out notifications or like, say when the construction project's happening, hey, your water is gonna be shut off at this time, or this is gonna be happening. Because you kind of see that through Facebook and WhatsApp, or what's, that, or,
What's happening in Washburn?
yeah, what's that one called?
Washburn.
Yeah, those two, you
You're
guys
right.
see those two, and then, the website, and then people get, hey, could we put any instructions in the newspaper? Hey, see our website during this, maybe,
Yeah, and I think maybe it wasn't on there. I'm trying to think of when it was published in the paper, if it said that it was on there. I mean, if that might have been different language, but then that's exactly what I uploaded to the website. I can't remember if it was on there or not. But we could.
yeah, maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks in a row of the newspaper, we are doing this. You need to go to Washburn's website or watch your Facebook or get an email, sign up for email, or is that a lot to work, or is that?
No.
I guess I don't know the legal part of it, maybe Abby does, but, if you're going to send an official letter out to some people and not to other people, I think the people that don't get it need to specifically opt out of that mailing.
So
So
they have a
just because
choice.
we have somebody's email address, I don't think
That's
we
a good
can
point.
not send them the letter.
If you choose to send the letters at all.
Yeah,
Correct.
right.
That is a good point.
So do we still see value in the letter as compared to additional language in the newspaper? Kind of pointing people to Facebook and the website.
And
I
mean,
still think that that's something, at least in the beginning,
So
Like-
sending a generic letter out to
yeah,
everybody.
something that says, hey, we're doing this and you're gonna wanna pay attention.
what colors can we do on
Which
our
we
water
did last
bills?
time.
I believe that, yeah. I actually didn't,
Yeah.
I wasn't involved in that part, 'cause
It was
We
just
do
at the way
water
beginning
bill.
because it drug
Yeah.
on so bad.
Did you send them with
Big
your water
red,
bill, or
big
do
red
all water,
letters.
not all
Yeah.
water bills get mailed though, do they? They get some emailed?
A good portion of them get mailed, but yeah, I mean, we do have select people that just get emailed.
Yeah, but those people have opted not to get an email one.
You can either get a paper copy, an email copy, or both.
Can we somewhat follow suit with that on our notifications to the citizens, since you already have that information? Or is that?
Again, I think they need to opt out of that specific mailing.
if they
And
don't.
why they
We
don't
just
get
can't use
it,
their preferences for something else.
right? Why they don't get mailed water bill is because they have told us, I don't want it,
Right,
I want it emailed.
That
Otherwise,
water
if they
bill.
provide both addresses, yeah, they get both.
so technically it's like the same as any other business, paper or paperless, like you have to opt in, you have to do that.
Yeah.
So that's probably the safest.
Should that go on our agenda at some time for public notice? I mean, is there, talk to the League of Cities and see what we can do to get communication directly to each citizen? Since you're saying that it might not be legal to do that.
Yeah,
I mean, could we just put it on our water bill? You know, it's like, it's going out there anyways.
Yeah.
we do that.
No, I know you do, like, and that's why they go in my fridge, but basically what I'm saying is like 3 months in advance, we are doing street meetings, show up for street information, and then after, special assessments, and big like red letters, and like a scary font or something, you know, for like 2 months, and then like see website for more details.
Yeah.
I know you guys have done that.
I
I'm
don't know
just
if we can
saying,
change the font color on that.
I
photo.
sorry, I'm
Yeah.
joking.
But-
I can't help
Oh,
myself.
okay. But
Sorry.
like, if
We
you
can
wanted like
highlight
a,
them all.
Okay.
if you wanted like a red sticker to put on the note part, I mean, maybe we could do something like that.
Or like a
Right.
sticker, 'cause they're
That's
different.
different. yeah.
Where it's not printed, but we have to, yeah,
Oh,
and that would be easy enough just to attach onto that.
Yeah.
if we
Oh,
wanted to
that's
get-
huge, yeah.
I mean, that we could
might work.
definitely do.
I mean, if you
Well, I'm
want
just
people
saying,
to
'cause
look
these
at
people
it.
want more notice. You know, that's a whole different notice, it's a whole new dimension.
Yeah.
I have a label printer. We can do this.
We're getting creative now.
Anyways, no, it's not, sorry.
There's nothing
just-
wrong
just
with
to-
that,
to
that's
bring
where
it back.
innovation comes.
So
But
bring it back.
it needs,
You
I
don't
get
always
it,
talk to 'em.
it needs to be flashy for them to look at it.
Mhm.
Not just, hey, we're doing this. We need to catch their eye.
Sorry, that's why I'm bringing it back. So sufficient to like who you talk to and that sort of thing. Would that indicate more notice? Like, because you're the one that talked to them. Like,
I think at this point, and it's not that I don't think that people really don't know where to go. I mean, for the most part, most of them know where to go and they're trying to pay attention because they're trying to understand, okay, how is this working? That's why there's so many people I think are asking, hey, how do you know this? And they know the process, I think, for the most part, that things get published, that it's a Thursday or Friday prior to a meeting, things like that. But when it comes to I think that would help it. I think it really would, because I think the biggest concern was, hey, we want to understand how this is directly going to affect us, because they don't get it. And it's not that they don't get it like they're dumb, they just want to be included more and understand it. So I think the formula thing is going to really help people grasp, okay, this will really help. Okay, I can get this, I can figure this out, so if we can give them the tools and something like that if a sticker works, let's do a sticker,
so we could skip the letter then. Would that be fair? Take the letter out.
and
no
do
more
a,
letter?
and try a sticker method.
But like Adam says, is that legal to?
As long as
Just
we're-
have a water bill.
Yeah.
Be like,
Yeah,
pay
if we're not
attention.
sending it at all, I think that's fine.
Because when we email the letters out too, they won't have the sticker, but they can
Right.
still have the same message
Right.
in the email that I'm almost positive. That they can have that same message in that email. It's just not printed on their cards. They won't have the sticker, but they're still gonna get the same message. Now we could also, I guess, do more of a little more posty, flashy public notice to the paper too that stands out in color to look here or look to the website. Like regardless, they have to be published in the paper right now, no matter
Yes.
what.
Can we just
Those
take the
numbers.
front page and just big notice? I mean, would that really, how much would that cost?
I don't want
Where
to.
we have to see when it goes into specials.
I wouldn't do the whole front page, but we can
do
maybe
the
make
last
it more of a
page.
banner or a big, thing that like
Look at the last page. You'll see.
like pages, blah 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 blah, have your special assessment amount, because like I said, we still have to publish them in the paper no matter what. That is entry code.
Yes.
Until they change that, we're bound by that. We can still post it to the website. I am more than happy to send out that alert off the website, but maybe doing something on that front page, directing them to that certain page
That's a good idea.
that grabs their
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, not everybody gets the paper, I understand that. We'll try to create them more techie people by Facebook, the website, whatever it may be.
That's
I
what we
like
do.
it. That sounds good.
Well, because it blends in with all the other meeting stuff in the back, with
Yeah,
that
it does.
sort
It's
of
just black
extra-
and white, and I don't like the way it's printed, unfortunately. If I could figure a different way out to do that too, because I don't think it lines up with the numbers and the legal description, and I just didn't like that. So I told everybody to go to the website anyway if they did call, because that way it was a straight line, but it at least grabs their attention in the very beginning of the front page.
Yeah.
So you're saying forego the letters, but the newspaper, Facebook, WhatsApp?
Stickers?
It's
And
still
then the
Facebook.
water bill?
Yes,
Those
Yes.
four,
yes,
those four
Yes.
things in lieu of a letter?
yes.
That's a good idea. I think that would be a happy
I
medium.
have a question. You put it on the water bill, say that goes to the renter, how is the landowner gonna know?
They receive a water bill copy.
Do they?
Yes.
Okay.
So we kill two birds with one stone.
But there are some people with land that don't have water and sewer garbage to it. So there's not.
That is
Yes,
correct.
Then those people, they need to have
I'm
a letter
thinking doing a
copy.
generic letter that lets know that you're gonna be doing this certain area and that, and then say, come to watch your water bill or check the website, that. Cause I know somebody who has an email that never checks it,
And there might be some people that don't have a computer also.
right? They
you
don't
know.
have to go to the library.
I think though,
Postcard.
I should raise my hand, Dan Lange. I think it's a good idea, like what's happening in Washburn. I don't care to look on Facebook, but I do sometimes. There's a lot of people, I go to Senex, they talk about what's happening in Washburn. So that might be a good spot to put something, say, hey, we're gonna have a meeting. I don't know if the city can do that on what's happening in Washburn. That say that this project's coming up and we're gonna start having meetings
Yeah.
or whatever,
I think we
you know?
can.
I usually share the city pages to all those.
Well, yeah, because that what's happening in Washburn too. Yeah, most people might be in it, but it's an opt-in group as well. So I mean, if I'm gonna post it on for city business, I'm posting to city's website or our Facebook page and our website. I'm not posting in a group
Mm.
because I'm posting on our official page.
Yeah, well,
So
Uh,
I know people can
operating as
share
a
it there,
yeah,
but
yeah.
there again, that's an opt-in group as well.
Right.
So not everybody's part of that
and
group.
somebody might share it, you know, they see it, say, and they might put it out on, say, hey, to everybody that,
And just for operating as a city is what she's saying, like, as a personal, you could do that.
Yes.
But as a city, you wanna have the information open as far and wide as possible is the idea.
So if we did send out a generic letter, just saying, one, in the beginning, when we get ready to put stuff in the newspaper, when it's going then we follow up with our sticker idea. And the then flashy stuff in the newspaper the next times, so that they understand, okay, this is legit, I have to really pay attention here. That would suffice?
Yeah.
And then the email method,
If we
opt
sent
in,
that,
opt out?
oh, sorry. Yeah, if we sent that letter, it'd be a one-time thing that you either need to follow the newspaper
Or subscribe?
or to the
Yes.
website.
Correct.
Or, Facebook page or whatever,
Yes.
that you, if you're gonna be involved here and you wanna know, you need to follow these things. We're not gonna baby you along, you need to get with it. We are doing this, so.
And all those avenues on that letter.
Yeah.
We're doing this, this, and this, and this is how you can check here, here, here. Or here, or here. How many times? 6 avenues, right?
Mhm.
That's all there. So that then there's no confusion. It's more black and white for them to understand. And know what to do.
Yeah, should there really be any check anything, cause it's either give them the options that'd be easier for you to get it out, which would be water bill somewhat easy,
Yeah.
and the notes,
And then the email.
the email, or no, not email, website,
Website. Yeah.
Website.
Facebook, and did I say newspaper? Newspaper. These are the 4
Right.
places you need to watch for this. One-time letter covered, I don't know.
That's what, yeah.
I like that idea better.
Okay.
Okay.
So that in conjunction with water bill, and everything you just said.
Yeah.
So we do want a letter, okay? So
Okay.
where should that letter be?
Follow the same line of logic as the newspaper.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Sure.
Is
Yeah.
that kind of what we have here?
Yep.
Because I was looking at
That is, yeah.
That's what I think we should do.
I would agree with that, yeah. And then should that be required? Because it's currently not. If we were to do West Fargo, it's an or.
If
not
it's a
and.
special assessment, which is required.
For the newspaper, yes. Yeah, for
Over.
for the news, so the notice. The newspaper notice is required, but it says or. It should say and if you want
Right.
this letter you're speaking of to be required. So require the letter is what I'm asking.
Right,
I think we should require a letter,
Okay. so
especially.
switch to and, yeah. Okay,
Sounds good.
and then did you guys like everything else on this sort of policy?
I did like that,
How
yeah,
it-
I
how
liked
it's
the
set up
shorter, cause it pretty much covered most of this area. All the stuff that we're doing. I didn't see anything that was actually lacking, to be honest, so.
I wanna say the methodology, we looked at past projects, is that fair to, do you remember how we kinda identified, like the water and sewer? That's how things have been assessed in the past, do you know?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
Okay.
I haven't done a water and sewer one, but yeah, I'm pretty sure by looking back at it, it was that I know was square footage for your
Square footage, right, that was.
yeah.
Okay, so again, this
when
is
yours
kind
was
of
done.
based on
Yeah.
how things have already been done, so we're consistent with past projects already.
I know it's a sore subject,
Yeah.
Sorry, Adam.
but water and sewer is different than I think a street. So I think they need to be. I mean, the amount of line is they're responsible for. So
Water and sewer does not go secondary, right? It stays primary only.
yes,
Correct.
yeah.
Oh, so street, gotcha, okay. And I don't know if we have any language on there as far as properties that are included in the district, cause essentially what he said is the street project, it was a citywide assessment with a primary improvement area. And then the secondary was everyone else, and they received a smaller assessment. We do not have any language in there. We keep it very vague, essentially, assessment boundary, defined area for potentially benefiting properties, so. You know, we could add language, or that can just be part of how the assessment district is set up each time.
And the thing is, do we really wanna be that overly specific with
Right.
how this is done? Because the whole idea of a special assessment committee is to remove the who's paying for it from the who's made the decision to do it. So that's the whole idea. So it's not like we can like bind them, even legally speaking, to be like, well, you must do it like this and watch out for my house, you know, like, it can't be anything like that, cause the special assessment has to have the freedom to assess, like, they have to do what they're supposed to do. So that, and that's why it has to be vague.
But kind of doing them somewhat the same every way, every time, so it's not like one way it got, how do I say? You know, just yours got nailed more in the primary than the next one. I think that's where people get upset. You know, if it was more, I mean, nobody likes paying the money regardless, but if it's somewhat consistent, it would help, I think.
No, and I agree, but just help me clear this up. Is this legally binding to the special assessment committee, or can they be like, water supply systems? No, that's going to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, within Century Code, can't they just do whatever they want, regardless of the
Technically.
policy? Right, and that's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
But again, ultimately, the city commission makes the final call.
Yes.
So we can
They
get a wrestle
draft
match,
it, and then they send it to city commission, and city commission can amend at their public hearing, and, you know, so they're kind of drafting, taking the first stab at any special circumstances, but city commission makes the final call on things.
Okay.
So,
So,
and
sorry.
ultimately, you are the ones making, creating the district, right? So you get to define the boundaries of who's
Primary or who's secondary,
yeah, or
theoretically.
even included,
Yeah.
right? So if we're not doing a primary and secondary on water and sewer, we can just create the district to only include the
Yep.
immediate neighborhood. So a lot of leeway for the city commission in that way.
Gotcha. And sorry, Jimmy, that's what I was kind of going on with yours, because it, just because it is that way, doesn't mean that it won't always be that way, but it'll give us a really good starting point, is kind of the idea. It gives us the same starting point, and if they go over here a little bit, it can come back, and then hopefully we can get somewhere to where we should be. But, this is way better than what it is currently, where we kind of just roll up and like, what was it 3 years ago? I think it was that, and then do you remember that guy? You know what I mean? So it's just kind of,
It helps for the turnover and the different committees, but ultimately, if you get, say, 3 people on there who go haywire and nope, they cut it way short for, you know, this, and this people, like, you guys have that final say to say, like, no, this isn't fair. Like, their neighbor has this, they have this, like, what's the $20,000 difference? Or typically, you know, like, you really short, you're in the project area and you cut yourself short, and now everybody goes, like, you guys have that final to say if something were to go way off the beaten path of, like, that's not fair. Because ultimately, you have to prove why it's fair.
And everyone talks to their neighbors.
yeah.
Because I remember at the, like, do we have the right just to kick it back? Or, but we altered that one on the final, to get the last one through, we had to change some of the corner lots. We changed that, but we can't just change everything, can we? I mean, we almost have to just kick it back and.
You really can.
As I recall from Century Code and Facebook, I'm not a lawyer, you cannot assess higher than the benefit that is determined. And how you define the benefit of the improvement is very vague in Century Code. So there's a lot of different ways you can, so it's very flexible, but essentially you can make decisions at your commission. You can do it either way. You can kick it back and have them redo it. You can make adjustments in that public hearing.
Yeah.
I've seen it done both ways.
So we're not technically shorting ourselves if we keep it in that way.
Yes. The way I'm thinking about this, it's like bumpers in bowling. You know, like no more gutter balls, but it's still going to go down there. It might not be a strike, it might not be a spare, but you can't guarantee if it's a strike or a spare. But it's not going to go in, you know, the gutter anymore. It's kind of the idea.
The framework
No
is
offense into
Yeah.
previous stuff, but yeah.
I don't think it'd be right if we, if we altered it like 1% like we did before, like we kind of took care of some special little areas and then pushed it through. But any massive like things, that should almost go back, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Normally.
Abnormal situations,
It was
but.
the first time, or the second time you sent it back. We redid it again, and then we
Completely
came back.
changed the
Yeah,
methodology.
didn't
Yeah.
change it all, and then we came back and then he made a special adjustment, some people to get to lower theirs to what was equal with other people that had the same size lot,
Yeah.
which is whatever, it wasn't a whole lot, but I mean, it made it more fair. And it was a bigger lot on the corner that was done on a previous street, so.
Yeah.
Do we have a clarification?
What was the question?
Oh,
True.
okay, it sounds like we are liking the longer West Fargo policy. Yay or nay? Do we have opinions on which format you like
Do you like the definitions included or no?
in the general procedure?
I like those. I was
Yeah, I
reading
do
those,
too.
but I like that's my opinion. I mean, I like how some things are.
Yeah, I like all the things in one place.
Okay.
Cause then it's not like, hey, what was that? And you go, oh, what ordinance was that, you know?
And then it's there easily for people to assess it, what the verbiage is.
Okay, so we're gonna go with that version. We're adding language regarding adding letters in item 2D. Are there any other adjustments you guys wanna make?
I did like the definitions, especially like the way things were defined, I think, in the West Fargo, is that right?
Yep, you got it.
So I like those definitions because this actually makes it very clear. It's a little bit easier to understand.
Yeah.
Especially abutting property access. So if we could take those and add them to our shorter version.
Oh, so you like the shorter version?
I like the shorter version, but I like these definitions to help people understand.
So the shorter version does not have the general procedure. You like,
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Sorry. Okay.
that's alright.
Oh, no, that makes sense. Sorry. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking that.
Yeah, sorry, I should have labeled these like B1 or B2.
No,
I
it
think
makes-
the files
that
had
makes
it, but I
sense.
should have put
Sorry.
it in the title.
Yeah, it's way, like, on the main page of this, it's there,
Okay.
but yeah.
So I am looking for guidance from you on, any amendments, and then the cost allocation methods that we have to find, for the water, streets, storm, sidewalks, and driveways. Do we like the methodology that we're using? Because that is what would we be applying to the draft Heritage Heights project. That's kind of the big piece that I'd like decisions on today, if you want me to start working on a draft assessment list.
So she's saying, in how it's laid out, is that how we wanna assess as a starting point for this next project?
And we are leaning towards this longer version. Is that right? Is that what everybody was agreeing on?
Which one's a short
The
I'm
shorter
sorry.
one is the.
B2
short-
is the shorter
There's a
one.
blue,
Yeah.
there's a bunch of
The blue, yeah, that has a scribbled out ones, and then at the end, I should have chopped that off.
Turned off the comment.
Yeah, no, that's
the
okay.
track
I should have,
changes.
just printed out the other ones. You gotta scroll down for that.
I have some
other
hard
one.
copies if anyone wants to compare them. I have them
Oh.
labeled.
So it's like page 7 and 8.
There you go.
And I didn't realize that until actually I printed my copy off that it was like that, so.
So
This is
the one
short
that's
one, right?
shorter.
Correct, that
is
is
the
the
one.
shorter.
Yeah, this is a shorter one. So
That's
if you
the
go
one
to-
that's from Valley
Yeah, I
City.
know which one,
Correct.
I know,
Okay.
yeah.
So the one from Fargo is the one that's
the
longer
one
that I
that-
like the
the one that
definitions.
we're
Yes.
looking at.
Yes.
That's one.
Yes.
That's West
That's
Fargo.
one,
That's
Yes,
the,
yes.
this is the one we've really
No.
been in depth.
Lesson
Yeah, that's the-
learned.
that's
I
the
gotta
one-
work on my labeling.
This one.
That's the
This
one
That's Valley City.
The blue.
Blue's
The
Valley City.
blue is
Blue? With the track changes
Version
on it.
2?
this.
Version
It's got the
2?
highlighted line on the
Yeah.
first
Blue-
page.
Yeah, which one's that? West Fargo or Valley City?
No,
Valley City.
That's Valley
So
City.
that's Valley
That's
City.
the
and
one we
other
are
is
not-
West
Correct.
Hardly discussed. I mean,
Correct.
underground,
We've
but we've really
really-
been
Fargo.
on
That's Valley City.
West Fargo.
Fargo's.
which is
So
like,
that's the one he has. yeah.
So it's actually just.
Yes.
down there.
He's got Valley. I wrote
Oh,
it
yeah,
in the
that
upper
one, that
corner.
one, yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yep.
so the special
that's the shorter
assessment allocation is where the water supply systems and sewage system would be. Cost allocation is based on lot square footage. And Municipal Street is where it's modified. The lot front footage measured 125 feet back from the front of the property, which is in line with what we just did with this last special assessment. The stormwater is measured 125 feet back from the front of the property. And repairs to sidewalks, its total cost is assessed directly to the individual benefiting lots. Any of the adjustments.
So could we, kind of how you have it here with what we did last project, move that into the West Fargo one with the bigger definitions? 'Cause
That's what I
it's
like.
kind of there.
I
They're
like
in
that.
there.
Yeah.
Well, is it as detailed though?
Mhm.
And
Should be
where?
the same language.
Or-
Can I look at my printout?
Oh,
Let me see. Bottom of page 2 of 3, special assessment allocation. It should have the same language in there.
Yeah, it's the same.
So it's just,
Okay, yep.
Yep.
Cool,
The-
yep.
the basics are all the same. It's just, West Fargo has the definitions, they've
Yep.
got the general procedure. Valley City has a special section on protesting, so you can
I see that.
add elements of whichever elements you like, essentially.
Oh, well, let's do that. Let's add the definitions that we liked from, and then we can add,
You're saying this is closest to how
general
we did it, the
procedure.
Valley City's the closest how we've done it,
so that gives
it
more
to date?
clarification.
or?
The definitions on how it's in there for Valley City and West Fargo are the same, which is based off of how we have done our specials in the past.
Right, so I took 2 different policies and I said, I like the elements in West Fargo, I like the definitions. Valley City, I like the fact that they have a section on protesting. Here's 2 different examples of what you could include. The actual special assessment, allocation methods are the same in both versions. So they're drafted to kind of reflect how the city of Washburn has approached specials.
Mhm.
Just
So would it be fair to do this? Okay, I motion to include the definitions,
A second.
okay?
Is there any other discussion?
Well, we're meeting or exceeding century code regardless, right?
yes,
Yes.
yep,
We can always add at a later time if we need to.
absolutely. You can revise this.
And
know,
or
however-
remove,
And or remove.
and
Okay.
or remove,
It's a policy, not an ordinance.
Correct. Century code, I believe, requires cities of 10,000 or more to have a policy.
Got it.
But you guys are just going above and beyond to over communicate.
We like our people.
Well, this is motion 1 of 2, so.
I say it's good. I come to an agreement on that.
All right.
So we vote
Yep. Brandon?
Yes.
yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I motion to include the part about protesting as well. So fully voted.
this part right here, you wanna add?
I got it.
Okay.
I think we're done.
See if there's a
Yes.
second.
Oh,
Oh, oh.
You need
I
a
will
s-
second, sorry.
Or no, it's fine, you don't have to, but yeah, okay.
I didn't realize.
So
that.
with the second, so I guess my thought on this is like, the first one has really good layout, it's nicely laid out. Let's just put everything in there, might as well over communicate, and that's it. So great
can-
job finding these, thanks for doing that, and let's just put it all together, roll it all together. Good to
So
go.
as I'm hearing, we're gonna do the West Fargo that is longer, and then we're just gonna add the protest section. to
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The definitions motion was to see if people liked West Fargo or not, so.
Thank you. And thank you.
Any more discussion?
Absolutely.
Brandon?
Yes.
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 And yes.
Perfect. I'll get a revised version to you.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Pay application.
So that's just kind of moving on to our engineer's report. First piece on that is the seal coat improvement project. Eric has the pay application number 1. This is the first and final pay application for the seal coat project. We are recommending approval.
I will make motion for that.
I'll second that.
This is coming out of sales and use tax, correct?
I was just gonna say that, can we add to that then?
So theoretically, I would like your motion to say that you are motioning to approve pay application 1 in the amount of $153,401.96 out of sales and use tax.
You got all that?
I will defer,
Okay.
or I digress. Okay.
Keith, you're pretty good at this. Do you wanna?
I wasn't listening, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding, okay, so I make a motion to approve their, application for payment for the amount of $153,401.96, which would be 100% of it, out of sales and use. Sales and use, general, the main one, or isn't there two of them?
There's 3 actually, so it'll be, but it falls underneath the, street infrastructure.
So sales
Okay.
and use from specifically street infrastructure, no later 45 days from now.
I'll second that.
Yes.
Any more discussion? We have discussed using the 1 cent sales tax in the past when we drew up this project.
Mhm.
So, and then the taxpayers won't be burdened by this bill and sent out, and spread out. This'll go to the 1 cent sales tax. So it'll be a done deal. All right?
Okay.
Ready to vote? Brandon?
Yes.
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 And yes. All right, good. All right, SWC pre-construction application.
So, this is part of the Heritage Heights Street and Drainage Project. One of the funding grant sources we looked at is the State Water Commission, SWC. So we had put together an application for pre-construction costs. That would be final design and bidding to get the project ready to bid. We submitted an application in December. The staff have requested that we redo the meeting minutes. They're looking for more detail in the approvals, specifically making sure that we have the exact dollar amount
Correct.
that we are estimating the city will be covering. So, do you have the specific language?
Yep, it's based on 60% cost share. The application requests $78,420 in state funding, with the remaining $52,280 as Washburn's responsibility. So $52,280.
What does, sorry.
That's where exactly, this is Abigail's, I don't like this, Abby and Abigail, but
Oh, that's
This-
the language she requested?
yes.
Okay,
This is
go with
exact-
it,
yep.
Norm, go with it. Okay.
But when we approved task order 19, there was not a dollar amount in there. So she was concerned that the city didn't know or wasn't aware that it was a cost share. I'm not really exactly sure. So she needs to know that the city is aware that we are responsible for paying the 52,000 and are okay with that.
I make a motion to reaffirm our commitment to pay task order 19 to the amount of $52,280, which is a 60% cost share, and we'll also be requesting the state funds of $78,420.
I'll second that motion. Is there any other discussion? Brandon?
Yes.
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 Should I just keep going?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
It's all you.
Okay, so that leads right into engineer's report. Third bullet that we haven't fully covered yet is that Heritage Heights Street and Drainage Improvements project. So, just giving you an update on schedule. I attached that on page 2 here. So a few changes. The DOT had originally told us they were hoping to have awards for that Flex Fund grant by the end of the year. They have not published those results. They're now telling me the end of January. So slight delay in an award announcement for the DOT Flex Fund grant. Bank of North Dakota has, essentially, Bank of North Dakota has a revolving loan fund that we will be using for the street project. They did not get any additional funds from the legislature this last session, so very limited loan funding. So we actually did have to competitively apply for the loan funding. And the city was selected, so we do have, that's 2% interest for up to 20 years. So there's some additional application documents that I'll be working with Chelsea to submit those on. Okay, so Department of Water Resources, State Water Commission. We submitted our pre-construction application and met with staff. Essentially, there will be revisions and the cost share will likely be lower than we originally hoped. So we're gonna go with the language that Abigail gave us as far as the pre-construction, but my conversations with the state have indicated that they're changing the category. Essentially, we were originally expecting a category with a 60% grant. Now they're saying the project really falls under a category that only has 45% maximum. With the way, part of this project is drainage related and part of it is street related. Only the drainage is eligible. Essentially how this all shakes out is the State Water Commission grant is probably going to fall closer to 25%, rather than the 60, that we were hoping for. So ultimately there's additional work and additional submissions we need to do with the state in order to kind of figure out what that final cost share percentage looks like. But I just wanted everyone to be aware that we're still working through the applications. We don't have the State Water Commission grant yet. And then on that second page, I also gave you a table that outlines what our best guess of a funding application would look like. So drainage improvements is about 1.7 million, maybe 400,000, 420,000 of that would be grant funding. The rest of that would be loan funding through the state revolving fund. So 1.2, 1.3 million there. And that's 2% for up to 30 years. And then the remaining street improvements that are not related to drainage, 2.6 million, that would be through Bank of North Dakota. So I have not included the flex funding grant in that table. It's very competitive across the states. I'm hopeful, but I don't, our chances are not high enough that I want to factor it into our estimates at this time. Any questions on kind of funding package and where things are sitting right now? Okay. Now we got our policy sorted out. I will start working with Chelsea on draft assessments. Would you like to see those, or just Chelsea can give you a notification when they're ready and up on the website?
Sure.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. I think that's all I had on the street and drainage project. Any questions? Okay. Lead and copper rules. So for you guys that are relatively new, lead and copper rule revisions. Essentially the federal government has required that the city put together an inventory of all lead service lines they have in the city, right? So the federal government is interested in getting lead out of our water systems. That has been an ongoing effort for a couple of years. We have received funds from the state, or excuse me, the city has been selected for technical assistance. So A2S is getting paid by the state 100% for category B. That will include, we've already been looking at records and trying to kind of piece together information that we already know. Now this next phase is actually inspecting service lines, kind of knocking on doors and seeing if residents will let us take a peek and kind of identify what the service line material is, with the goal of getting as many unknowns knocked off our list as possible. They had a kickoff in December. Survey is live, so you should expect A2S staff coming door to door in the next month here. We had some good news on the lead service line side. So I think last meeting, Eric came to you and said that
Years ago too.
Huh?
Didn't they come by and check? I thought we sent pictures at one time.
Yes. So there's the customer side and the city side, essentially. We have to know both sides of it. So the customer side is doing that survey
Oh,
that everyone did, because I think we still have 68 on the customer side that are unknown. That is what they're trying to go figure out
Oh, I
now,
gotcha.
because those people did not submit the picture.
Hmm.
Or we don't know those, so that's those 68 we're trying to knock out, so then they're all known on that customer side.
Okay, so last month, Eric had come to you and said the state came out with their there's a bucket of funding that they get from EPA for lead service line replacements, right? And they have to come up with a plan on how they're going to use the funds. The draft plan that the state put out was very limited funding. I think there were 12 communities that were getting all of the funding for the state. So Washburn was not one of them. So, based off of the draft that they had put out, Washburn was not going to have any funding available for lead service line replacement. Since that time, they had a public hearing, lots of comments and feedback, and changed their methodology. And so now, essentially, there's a few larger communities that obviously had a lot of need. They've limited a maximum pot to $3 million per community, and they're able to fund everyone. So Washburn now has the ability to apply for funding for lead service line replacement. Why that is important? This special pot of money is 66% grant funding, and then the remaining balance, 34% balance, is at a 0.5% interest. So significantly lower cost than the typical loan funding that we'd get through the state.
And just to be clear, this is something that we're legally required to do.
So we are working on figuring out our unknowns on our inventory, because again, EPA is requiring everyone to fill out these inventories. The inventory that we submit at the end of 2027 is what you're locked into. So if you have 50 unknowns, or 50 unknowns or lead lines, you have to treat those as lead lines, and across the next 10 years, you have to replace those. So getting as much of our unknowns sorted out now is gonna set you up for success at the end of 2027. But 2026 is the last year of the special lead funding. That was part of the bipartisan infrastructure law where they passed, $1 billion or whatever it was. A lot of that, there was 5 years of funding, and 26 is the last year of this special funding. So come 27, there's no special, 66% grant funding. There's no lower interest rate. You're just back to your regular 2%. So yes, eventually the city will be locked into replacing the lead service lines and any unknowns we still have.
Yes.
And if we don't apply for the funding in 26 here, you'll have to go with the regular 2% that's available.
So the optimal move would be to figure everything out before the 26th deadline, then apply for the maximum amount of stuff that you can, that is necessary.
So we already have you on a list, and they've already identified the max, essentially based off of the inventory that we have now, kind of here's the number of unknowns that we know, or excuse me, the lead service lines that we know, and then we estimated, kind of based off of our experience, 10% of our unknowns are going to be lead. We use that estimate to submit your project for their priority list, and that's the maximum that the city can apply for. My suggestion, let's get the funding applied for now and get it locked in. The state gives us 6 to 7 years to use it. If you don't end up using it, you just return it to the state. You only pay back what you draw on it. So if you end up using $50,000, $500,000, it's only what you end up using across the 6 to 7 years.
So basically, we should apply for every single unknown now. And if any of them get knocked off, we don't use it, we don't use it.
Exactly. Yep.
Sure.
Yep, my recommendation, so let's see here. Task order 21, I think commission had already approved A2S. So the story in 2025 had been there's a lot of lead funding to go around. Anyone can get this funding. Well, everybody kind of came to the table at the same time. And so they suddenly had to start making cuts and, limits on what people could borrow. So we already have a task order in place to help you apply for the loan funding and kind of get the engineering reports ready to go. So my suggestion would be authorize A2S to complete the engineering report, that facility plan, and the loan application, and get the loan funding secured. That way, when you're ready to replace lines, the funding's already ready to go.
What was the amount of that task order? I need it, I guess.
Task order 21.
Yeah, do you know that?
Let me go look it up.
My understanding is it's already been approved.
It was approved.
Yes.
Oh, okay, so we're good to go then.
Yep, but essentially, once that news came out last month, Eric said, I'm gonna hold off. Obviously, we're not gonna charge you for something where the funding's not available, so, and the work that we're doing under the task order 21, that is also eligible for the 66% grant funding,
Mhm.
so.
Well, do we have to do some sort of thing to have you apply for this grant
That was also included in the task order, so.
to the max, like since this new news that you've had, like apply
No,
for the
there
max?
are stipulations.
So that's what I'm
So,
wondering,
yes,
yeah, 'cause there
good
has been a
question.
change.
So the SRF application will require a resolution, so I can come to you next month with an official resolution.
Okay.
And that would have the dollar amount specified in there.
Just so we can like, since it has changed since that, we wanna maximize, I think we wanna maximize, we'll see when the vote comes, I guess, but I think we would wanna maximize that grant. 'Cause it
Right,
seems like a really
apply
good grant,
for
so,
the max that we can, absolutely.
so whatever we need to do that, we'll
Okay.
do that.
Okay.
Or move towards that.
Resolution.
Do you know what month task order was?
Mm-mm-mm.
22 was last month.
I can't imagine it was much earlier than November.
Let's see that November's meeting material. Actually, I think he brought task order. I don't think it was ready for the meeting when I sent it out. So I don't think it was a part of this.
Okay.
I could easily go find it if you need me to.
So, but we do know it was approved?
I do know it was approved, yes.
Okay. So you're asking for the amount, the dollar amount?
No, it doesn't matter anymore.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just looking to make sure we, because you brought us new news.
Yes,
I wanna make sure we take advantage of that new news. So whatever needs to be done, if it's already done, that's great. But if there's anything that needs to be done, then we should probably do that.
I don't think that I need any, Chelsea, I don't think I need any approvals. So more of a notification now that the funding is available, we will start putting time to that task order again and continue working towards that loan application. And then I will plan to bring a resolution to you next month outlining the dollar amount for you.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry, the second page, Eric has one more bullet hanging out. Funds would be used to replace, the 15 known lead service lines. And then that would also help, you could also use that grant funding for potholing to help with our unknowns as well.
Nice.
So we can really, fill in the gaps on those unknowns. So, last piece, Riverside Road improvements, we do not have anything new to report here. Eric's still working on a task order number 3. That is, this, for newbies, we applied to Parks and Rec, I believe, for a grant, to improve the roads, because we were having,
We have a slide area down by, on Riverside Park Road.
and we were awarded a grant, it's 60%, the city has a 40% local cost share. And I think we've kind of been working through kind of the final scope and what that project finally looks like. And then Eric is putting numbers to the engineering effort on that. Goal is to construct that in 2026. The grant funds need to be used by the end of 2026. So, goal would be to have that for you next month as well. And I think that's the end of my update. A lot of discussion.
I knew there would be.
Anything else for me? Any questions I can relay back to Eric?
Do we think those special assessments will be ready to go for Heritage Heights project, or we?
Yeah.
Timeline to have a special assessment?
So, I mean, the streets and the storm are both using that modified frontage. So I already have the data set. It's just kind of plugging in our new project cost. I think, yeah, I could have that for you by next commission.
Maybe they plan on doing that project next year, this year?
This spring, wasn't it?
Yes, so
That's far,
goal is to finish design by end of February, and then bid in May, June. So
The special assessments have a full board, or?
Well, we're gonna have to, there's a couple assessments, I was gonna actually bring this up in my portfolio, but we can discuss it real quick. Brandon is now off of it. Dan's term is actually up here soon, so if he wants to come, he can just be reappointed. And then we would have to fill his spot for sure, and then possibly his spot if he doesn't want to be on it again either, so.
Is Larry still gonna be? on
Larry
it?
is still on it, his term is on, I think, until 2027, 28. No, that's his, he's back on now, we had to stagger him because we had no committee to begin with. So Larry's still on there, we have to replace him. And then there's a couple other boards that have terms expiring too, and then those will all be published in the paper as well. And I can put them online.
Is that on, is that soon? When does that happen?
Cause I couldn't do both.
No, you can't do both.
Is it like June, or when does that happen?
Go sit there,
When-
and then come in here and vote on it.
Their terms expire, or when does the project begin?
I guess, I think it was the terms I was thinking.
Depends on when they were appointed, so we had to create a whole new board
Okay.
for this, cause nobody was currently on it when we started. So then they had different terms, they are a 6-year term,
Oh, okay.
but we staggered them to go off to get new people on there,
Okay.
yes.
I can't
3-year
imagine, I can't
terms.
imagine people be jumping at it, so.
That was the struggle we had last
I
time.
don't know.
They're only 3-year terms.
Mm.
That's what, they're 3-year terms.
Don't tell me mine was like 6 years.
I thought it was 6, but then why would Dan be coming off? I'll have to look at that. That's, I gotta get it all, because there's a couple other boards that have terms expiring too,
Okay,
depending on when they're appointed and when terms come off, so.
gotcha.
Special assessment have to go in the paper like right away, right, or very soon. If we're gonna have a chance to have a board to,
Mm-hmm.
Go through and do it.
Yep.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna go into, portfolios.
Back to 12.
Oh, yeah,
We have property value adjustments.
Yep.
And
property
just-
value adjustment.
Just to say real quick, Chelsea, you did put your email in there, it's 14A. That's why I missed it, because it wasn't on the 12, you must have meant the 12A, but it is in
Oh, I
there.
must have renumbered it
Nope, you're just fine, it's,
after I adjusted this morning.
so the one, so, yeah, it was there, but we have a printed copy now, so. I guess where we kind of were in this conversation, you guys were kind of talking about if you wanna send it to like a little committee with like buildings and grounds or finance, or kind of to get more information.
I just,
There was more information in this email, so. Basically, in this email, he specifically goes into like, in the hall, this is why some things changed, and then to the summary at the end, in the bold is actually really nice, cause it gives you just what it did, which she kind of read earlier.
The actual adjustment.
Yeah. And I think kind of the reason why this happened was like, this was a more in-depth sort of searching, would that be fair? More in-depth assessment, Chelsea?
Yes.
Than previously, so that's obviously why they found more stuff, they're going inside, they're doing that sort of stuff, right? So,
And this is something that would be, just out of curiosity, this is something that, if we approve this, this takes effect as of, like, right away, right? How does this process go? How long, how fast does this change? Is this right away?
Yes.
yeah. Well, it's probably when you pay the first thing or whatever.
Yeah, so our renewal is October. They will prorate it now for the rest of the year going forward. Now, if it gets approved tonight, I will email Jesse tomorrow. They'll get that adjusted, and he'll invoice us for the additional premium.
Okay.
So I guess,
It would take effect, though, in October.
No, this will go into effect if we approve it tonight.
Okay.
It'll go into effect tonight. I mean, obviously, on their end, they've got to send off their stuff in, but it'll go into effect right away.
Okay, so to answer, just because I'm being dumb right now, my brain hurts. Okay, but the adjustment, though, the costings of this, does this come out then in October?
No, they will invoice us, so say we have it, we'll pay it possibly in our February bills, as long as we
Okay.
receive that invoice
Okay.
for that adjusted premium, but
Okay.
they will get it adjusted on their end, then they'll invoice us the additional cost we only pay our bills once a month,
Right.
so
Okay,
it'll
thank
get
you.
paid within that, as long as we have the invoice, our next check run.
Okay.
Not tomorrow, cause I don't actually have the invoice.
That's fine, yeah, okay, thank you.
Then when we renew in October, it'll be included in that additional.
Thank you,
yeah,
that's
that
what I
full
was
price.
trying to find that.
Yes.
I guess kind of what I think about when we're talking about this, didn't we have some sort of like water pump or something where it was like, we only have 10% of that insured or something like that a while ago? And then that night we're like, we have to get it insured in case it gets knocked over. Don't you remember something like that? It's probably 8-9 months ago.
Well, the water salesman, I don't think was insured, or something like that.
The water
It was
salesman
something
was
like
not
that, but it's
insured.
similar to this, right?
But yeah,
So-
that's,
I
there
just-
was some stuff that was missed.
Yeah, and I brought it up just for maybe a good onboarding of people coming on, so they're involved with it.
Right.
So they know, or could add to their portfolio.
Right.
So, so we're only, this is, it was $14.53 a year. And then after the increase, it would go up to $2,925. That's all it's going up then,
Yes,
per year? Is that what I'm saying?
yes,
So it's not a huge increase?
no.
Can I ask a quick question about this?
Sure.
I know that the pool is a totally separate thing, but, does that get like reevaluated and stuff on its own and have, like, it's not included in all these other things that we have going on, and I get that because it's privately funded, right?
What's
that
no,
park
its
board?
own.
Park board.
No,
It
it's,
is?
Park district.
yeah, it's,
Okay.
the park board has that, so yes,
Okay.
that is looked at by their agent, if
So is that-
anything needs to be changed.
Any of that included with our, like
No.
the, okay,
They have their own separate policy for all of, their land and their property,
okay, gotcha, thank you.
yes.
Oh, there's more to it though. Okay.
I just didn't know if there's anything specific that you wanted me to ask to give you different of what's not on here as to why these changes are being made, I guess is why I asked that.
I mean, it makes sense, like if it's worth more money, it costs more to insure at a simple level. And it's not like there's any second opinion. Endurf Junior over here says something different, you know, it's not like you can really do anything like that, you
Right.
know? So it's like, do we want it insured to the full value or not, is kind of the question. That's the
Correct.
big question.
That
In
is
case
correct,
something
yes.
happens.
Replacement, yeah.
So is that's the question to answer then, do we want it insured to the full value or not?
I'd say, yeah.
I would say yes.
Okay. Well, motion to approve the new rates. Sorry, not specific. Man, I gotta think about this. Someone else talk. Okay,
I
let's see
wouldn't
here.
suggest for a motion
Thank
on
you.
this, Chelsea, to cover our basis on the insurance.
There's multiple different rates, so motion to approve the new rates, I mean, would be fine for this. It's detailed in there.
So motion to approve the rate changes in the entirety of this letter as described by our insurance agent.
I second it.
Okay. Is there any more discussion? If not, Brandon?
Yes.
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 And yes. All right, now we're gonna move to 18, portfolios and new business. Brandon, you haven't had a chance yet. So, but is there anything you wanna talk about under your new portfolios or have any questions?
I guess, I don't know, figure it out, I guess, I don't have
Okay.
any questions.
Thank you. Jamie?
Will you be sending out like a notification, like the forestry board, like who I get a hold of and when they meet and stuff?
Yes, so I will send out a new email, attaching you to the forestry board that I have, that you are now on the forestry board, here's your contact information, and then everybody else will be in that email as well.
Gotcha.
So I will do that tomorrow.
Thank you.
Or Wednesday if I don't get it done.
Other than that, I don't think I have much, so.
Okay.
Anything? I'm curious about that as well, like, other than, both Keith and I will be on human resources, but planning and zoning, like, I'll have an idea of who I need to talk to? Or is that just by Dawn?
Planning and zoning, I always send out the agendas and, any information that's relating to that, so same with, I guess that with any new emails that have to be done, I can send out a new email. This is the new person, new city commissioner that's on there. I always let Candy know too when there's whoever takes over for the library, so she can include them. She sends out her own emails. But forestry and Cody Meadows is the president of forestry, so he'll have your contact information, Jamie, if he needs to get a hold of you or try to schedule a meeting. Candy sends out her stuff for the library, but I send her your information.
Okay.
Same with planning and zoning. Now you'll be included. All those agendas and anything that pertains to planning and zoning meetings comes from me.
Great.
Then HR, we just figure out when we're done here.
Yes,
We had a time, but we'll figure something else out.
thank you. That was my only questions. Thank you.
Okay, you'll do the same with the airport authority. Let them know that I'll be on that board.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. I had a property owner contact me. They have a private sewer line and they have issues. I've talked to Eric with E2S about it. Gonna give them some options that they might be able to take care of it themselves. If not, if it has to go, if the city has to get involved, and then we'll have to discuss on what that cost is gonna go to that property owner then. So, just to give you an update what I'm doing, so. They contacted me, I didn't contact them, so. Just for communication. Besides that, that's pretty much all I have. Chelsea, do you have anything more to? Yeah, so it is election year. We have 2 city commissioner positions that will be on our June ballot, and there will be 3 park board terms on the ballot as well. If you are interested in running, you do have to fill out the proper signature or proper documentation. I do have it posted online. I can print it for you if you need it. City commissioners are required to get 29 signatures. Park board members need 7. And all that paperwork is due back to City Hall on Monday, April 6th at 4 p.m. If there are any questions about running or anything on elections, please feel free to contact me. I will help you guys out with that. We are closed next Monday. And then, like I said, when we were kind of discussing, there are some other terms expiring on boards, and I will get them all detailed and get them posted online, and I will publish them in the paper. So if anybody's interested in serving on a different board that's not city commission, send a letter of appointment if one of those fall underneath there. I think that's all I have.
I have a question about that. Like, is that something that is not is it a conflict of interest to have more than one, like, a city commissioner on another board? Like, wouldn't that be a conflict of interest to have multiple? You know what I mean? Like, if, like, say one of us wanted to be on the park, wouldn't that be a conflict of interest?
Yeah, as an elected official, you cannot be on both.
Right, exactly. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I was wondering. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you, that's all.
Okay. Adam?
If you should have my report there, if you have any questions. That's fine.
last one? Okay,
Yep, there you go.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
You're
I
just
didn't
fine.
look really good. I was in there already.
Have we been running into any problems, filling the water tower?
Nope.
Nope, okay, that's good.
So it's holding on pretty well with the load,
Oh.
yeah?
That's winter, so it's
It's not the same,
very minor loads in the wintertime.
okay.
Yeah, when people start watering and stuff, I don't foresee any problems. I think the new PRV is working out just fine.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of barricades, I see they're knocked over down by the boat ramp going up that,
Oh, okay.
so
I'll send somebody over.
they're intact up top, but down low they're
Okay.
kicked to the side.
Has, Chris Truspick said anything about working on that road this winter?
No, we haven't talked about it, I guess.
Okay,
I mean, he's not gonna, I probably won't discuss it with him for a couple months.
A couple months.
Yeah.
do we know when, for project wise, for that road repair, what we're looking at for cost and stuff like that? Nothing yet.
No, I mean, if you put together costs now, they change anyway. So
Okay,
there's no point in doing it now. When
Sure.
the price is gonna change in the future, so. Yeah, more information on that when spring rolls around, or probably the end of spring when things start drying up, actually.
okay.
So does it really start going up more so March? Is that when it starts, or is it?
Well, I mean,
April?
everything increases in price over time, so, supply cost for a project that's, 5 months out, your prices are gonna change. So.
All right. Is there anything else? All right, next meeting, February 9th. Call the meeting to order or adjourn. You made it.
I did.